Good evening, guys, and welcome to another edition of Nighttime. And joining me tonight, well, hang on a minute. I thought it was Gaz.
You just said guys. There's two women on this panel.
Oh, hello, Kylie. Crazy lady, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Mark, how are you, mate? Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
No worries. And on my left, Marchie. Hello, mate. Welcome back again.
Yeah, thank you. A bit earlier than I thought, but I'm here.
Yeah, beautiful. And Courtney, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Awesome. That's good. And joining me in the Spinner Lounge tonight, we have Chad. How are you, pal?
Good, guys. How are you guys?
Very well.
Good, mate.
All
It's
right.
a bit different today. Usually we see a different set of panels, so it's good to be on this show.
Yeah, well, we might be able to sneakily might give them a call later and see what we can do while they're sailing away.
Yeah, somewhere in the South Pacific. No.
Yeah.
Just Dean, because Kylie's here.
Yeah, guys, right there.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot to go.
Dean's having a great holiday by himself
Yeah.
with the kids.
And we've been playing musical chairs. Everyone's different here.
All right, good round of footy, boys. What do you reckon, hey, and girls? Yeah.
You put that in.
Yeah.
I'm watching you.
All right, well, we might start with the NRL news, eh? Brought to you by our friends at Hip Pocket Workwear. All right. So Brandon Smith has agreed to a 2-year deal with the Rabbitohs as of next season, worth $600,000 a season. What do you reckon?
I reckon he's worth it a bit more than that. Should have went to Parramatta.
I reckon they're paying too much for him.
Do you reckon paying too much for him?
Overrated.
Oh, I think he's not a bad bargain at 600 in my opinion. I think he goes all right when he's under the right coach.
I think so too. Yeah. Court?
Considering what we're paying for other players at the moment. And we'll get into a bit more of that later on, of some other figures that are floating around at the moment. But, I mean, it's not too bad.
All right.
Big money.
Carry on. Eel CEO Jim Sarantinos has urged fans to be patient after a slow start to 2025. He says, give us time. We have a complete faith in our coach. We need understanding and patience, and we will improve, he explained.
Just recycled that year on year, haven't it? Same speech.
Yep. 100% they have.
Well, I go for the Panthers, so I wouldn't know anything about the Eels.
I think it's it is. It's recycled. It's the same thing every year.
But if you have a look on their behalf, they have got some new players, and they've got to all sort of gel. Maybe a little bit more consistency and that gelling and Lomax, how was he? But we'll carry on there.
Your voice is
Yeah,
cracked.
Kylie, what's going on there?
You don't know what this seat's got on it.
Oh, dear. Here we go. Carry on. Peter V'landys is reportedly set to make a decision whether the next fortnight as to whether the Perth Bears will join the NRL in 2027. I reckon they should have been here now, in my opinion.
Yes.
I don't think it'll work.
Don't think so?
Didn't work last time they brought a Perth side in.
Okay.
Why is it going to be any different? I think they're going to struggle with the New Guinea side too.
I would hope that they...
Costs are going to kill them. Who's going to go to a home game over there? You know, when we're paying $50, $60 a ticket here, who's going to float it? I mean, the NRL's already offered to throw how many million behind them, but the crowd numbers surely they can't justify the crowd numbers. Yeah, they're going to be underpaying for. So I think Perth the same. It's didn't work before. I don't think it's going to work again.
What about if Papua New Guinea get in? What happens there?
Well, that's what I mean. You know, there's going to be a lot of travel costs.
Why not have any Northern Territory teams, have some South Australia teams, and then that kind of buffers that travel, because you've got bulk Sydney teams floating across over to Perth.
You go into any
You can't justify the cost.
you go into any competition, whether it's AFL, cricket, soccer, whatever. Where's the Northern Territory side? And I tell you what, they'd have some gun players up that way that they drag in from out of nowhere. I mean, there's a lot of talent that would be up there, and that
There's a lot of Indigenous
I
talent
can't see
up
why
there.
they wouldn't look there first.
True.
They did a Darwin game last year, didn't they? When they
Parramatta, they scratched it. Oh, I think they've scrapped it now, haven't they?
yeah.
No, I think they're going up there again.
Are
There
they?
was a good crowd,
Yeah.
but I mean, you wouldn't travel. There's some that do, but that's a bit of a trek.
For the Northern Territory, anyone in the other states, like, who do they vote? The thing is, who do they go for is the question.
Yeah.
Who do they get to go for? So if they
They don't
if
have a
there
home
is
team.
Another home team. Like, I feel like I'm a Titans supporter. When we only had the Broncos, everyone in Queensland went for the Broncos.
Yep.
And now we have Titans. We've got, well, not now, but we have Titans in North Queensland. So like, and the other guys. So we should diversifying that. You'll find the crowd. The crowd will happen. The crowd will show.
They just need to make more teams.
Yeah.
And I will say a little bit miffed about them reusing the Bears. I think they should have come up with something a bit original, but that's just me.
What about a second Melbourne team
Yep.
instead?
Well,
That's
that's
always
another
an
thing.
option, yeah.
You've got the crowd there. You've got the infrastructure there.
They've got juniors coming, like juniors starting to come through into Melbourne now, so that the feeders down there are working. It's been a long time coming down there, but it's worked. It's definitely worked. It worked from the get-go, really, with Melbourne.
In saying all this too with like faraway teams, New Zealand, like it's a whole other country.
It's a different country, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean we're going about Perth. I mean it seems a bit silly, but
It's a shorter flight to New Zealand than it is Perth.
this is true. This is true. But yeah, I think if you're going to go distance, you may as well just rip in and open up a few teams, get a few teams in each state going, and make it a bit bigger. But I mean, look how long the season is now. 17 teams. How many games we play? That's game would never stop.
And the players are talking about player burnout.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yep.
Oh, we'll just get rid of Parramatta and room for another team.
Well, here we go.
When Gary comes back, he's going to be really messed up with you, I'll tell you now.
All right, we'll carry on. The NRL are considering selling the broadcast rights to multiple partners. This would mean fans might need multiple subscriptions to watch all the games each round. We will look at the NFL's model and see how games could be distributed, Peter V'landys has said.
It's already a pain in the ass now with Foxtel. Like they'll
Yep.
show everything all year, and then you get to the finals and that, and they don't show it.
Yep.
So, I mean, it brings in more money, brings in higher salary caps, but it doesn't help us with watching. Fans
Yeah.
will just drop out.
Some people can't afford to pay for KO and Foxtel subscriptions. KO, I know, is about $35 a month. I pay that all year round. But some people just don't have that luxury and to have that ongoing 35 coming out. So I believe Foxtel's more. So I think when they say it should be free, 100%.
Yeah, well, back when I was a kid, when we were all kids, it was on 9 or
Yep.
yeah.
Well, I remember being on Channel 10.
Was it? Okay, that's
Oh my
We're about
God.
to say the afternoon
Yeah,
ABC.
ABC with David Morrow, yes.
And Fatty Vorton's debut.
And remind me
Yes,
how-
the F-bomb.
Yes, I do remember that.
Remind me, how much did that cost you guys back in the day?
Free
You had a
air.
television and
Free air.
to air.
Free air.
So I think it's always about money. It's always
Yeah.
about money. Like, they've got to pay their players, so they've got to make the money and they've got to just sell the rights and stuff. But we are all doing multiple movie places, multiple different things, and this is another thing we're going to have to chuck on top of that. It's going to be a
What's
hard sell.
annoying as well is when you're watching the Saturday games. I think it's the Saturday, maybe. But there's, one's on KO. Then the next game, straight after it, you flick over to like normal TV. Then straight after that, you flick them back onto KO again and watch the third game. Like, just have it all in one.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Anyway, Warriors centre free quarter Roger Tuivasa-Sheck has injured his hamstring and could be missing up to 8 matches.
That's huge. Huge for them.
Yeah, big blow.
Good player.
Good player.
I like him.
You like him?
I do.
Yeah?
Yep.
Fair enough. Taniela Paseka has ruptured his Achilles tendon in last week's game against the Raiders and looks like season ending. Did anyone see it?
For him.
Yeah.
Poor bugger.
Talon De Silva and Api Coruscant are both off contract at the end of 2026. It's understood multiple clubs will pursue De Silva's signature come November the 1st this year if Api extends his deal past 2026. I don't mind this Talon De Silva coming off the bench too. I don't know if you've actually watched him in games, but he's quite good out of dummy half there.
Yeah, well, I mean, Appy's holding his spot, so he's not going to get a go for a while. He needs to, grow. Sometimes you need to leave to grow, and you can always come back.
Thoughts, guys?
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Oh, you sound like Gary then, Kylie. That was weird.
It's a little frog in my throat.
Yeah.
Voice change.
I might have to have a drink to clear it.
Yeah. I might have to go down the store and get some soothers, I think.
I'll
Would you please?
Sure.
Gary, just have some juice bomb. That'll clear you up.
Yeah. Oh, juice
Who's
bomb.
Gary? I thought this is Kylie.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Gotta love,
Confused.
Crazy lady's here, no?
It's all right. Oh, it's not Gary.
gotta love juice bomb.
Juice bomb.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah.
Juice
The bomb.
bomb. Juice bomb.
God. I'm going to have to put up with this all night. Seriously.
Hope so.
Dolphins prop Tom Flegler has declared his NRL career is far from over. Unfortunately, everything is at the moment is unknown and up in the air, and his return to football could be this year or next, he says.
Time will tell, but yeah. If he
That
does,
nerve damage is
it's hard to come back.
never,
Never
never.
100% off.
Probably won't be the same. It won't be the same player. It's something that'll be in the back of your mind.
Yeah, true. Knights have officially signed Cowboys prop Will O'Sullivan on immediate move until the end of 2028.
Will they pay for him 1.1?
No, I'm not sure. Yes. Yeah. I don't know who he is at the moment, so I've never seen him play. So,
No, I haven't seen him either.
yeah, so, but obviously the Knights have obviously seen something in him, so,
Yep.
and he could be a good sort of backup player anyway. So, anyway, the Bulldogs have officially granted Ryan Sutton immediate release from his contract.
I don't like this kind of stuff. They sign a contract, stay with it
For 2
all the
years.
time.
God, you sound like Gary.
2 years max. 2 years max. That's it.
Well, you're gonna
You stay there. If you don't play,
You're
go
gonna,
down.
You're going to like this one then.
Okay.
The Raiders are set to activate the clause to retain Jamal Fogarty for the 2026 season.
26, that's okay.
Is that all right?
Yes.
It's all right?
Yes.
Okay, no worries.
This is going to be hard.
Oh, dear.
What do you mean? It already is.
Rugby League reporter James Hooper says the Rabbitohs may need to consider cutting Lewis Dodd before he even plays a game for the club. If we got the bloke on that amount of money, given what we've seen from Humphreys.
Probably a good call. Humphreys is playing, even in a well-beaten side on the weekend. He
Stood out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's going to be there for a while. He's going to have that spot for a long time.
Yeah.
He's made it his already.
He's built well. He plays well.
He's got a
only young.
really good kicking game too. He's got a very good kicking game.
Yeah, well, I mean, albeit I watched a bit of him when he played the Dragons, and yeah, the field goal that he kicked, he was ice cool. So you know, Bennett obviously's got a lot of faith in him, and he actually told him at the start of the year he was actually going to be in before this Dodd. So
Yeah, right.
yeah, it's been reported that as well. So yeah, anyway, as I said, big money, and he might have to send him back to Super League, I think, because from what I've seen of him so far, he doesn't cut the mustard.
Was it like 900 grand sitting on the bench or something?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move and carry on. Phoenix Crosland extended his contract for a further 2 seasons that'll tie him up to 2028.
That's good.
The Rabbitohs are close to re-signing Cody Walker for a 1-year extension, and the Tigers are reportedly preparing a significant extension in hopes he will resign before hitting the open market on November 1. Who's that for? Anyway, I must have missed that. Nathan Cleary will miss the next week's game due to Category 1 concussion protocols suffered in their loss to the Storm.
You want to see this one?
Yeah.
This one was
Chinned him
hectic.
hard.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. I like that one.
Bit of a collision.
But I do have to say too, even though he was out, because he went out pretty early in the game, they played well.
Yeah, they sort of
Yeah,
rallied.
they
They stuck it, you know. So I mean, it is a loss, but is it as big a loss as it has been in the last couple of seasons?
Get it out of the way early.
That's it.
And was it 11 days for a Cat 1?
Yep.
And then you're back and functioning. At least it wasn't a serious injury. He didn't do a hamstring or an Achilles or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just knocked his head around.
Or a broken hand.
Yeah.
Pretty dramatic.
Just yeah.
It was just a concussion, like
It's just that's nothing big about it. Concussion. It's just knocked his head around.
11 days.
Brain hit the side of your skull.
about-
You'll be right. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
What about the other bloke, though? Imagine that, getting headbutted by bloody Nathan
Wasn't a
Cleary.
chin.
Yeah, I know, but... God.
That would have put
Solid,
big dent in things, wouldn't it?
Left a divot in the ground.
Oh, his chin broke his fall.
That's a good one.
Love you, Kylie.
Well, here's
know
one
what I
for you, Kylie. The Panthers have confirmed Dane Laurie has a quad injury, and he will require further treatment via a fitness test this weekend.
I could massage it for him. It might help a bit.
You reckon? He's a good player, Dane Laurie. I like him. He's a good replacement for Dylan Edwards,
Giving me the ick.
I reckon.
Yes.
Anyway,
That feel all right?
Isn't it a 30
magic
centimetre
hands.
space? Isn't it?
I'm not
30 centimetre?
Smita.
Well, he's on the boat.
Yeah.
Fun here.
Yeah, everyone's a comedian tonight, aren't we?
Love it.
Hi, Dino. Love you,
Dra-
darling.
Oh dear. Dragons are weighing up an offer for Daly Cherry Evans for a deal from 2026 onwards.
Won't happen.
No, not a chance.
Not after the report that they put on the group today. That
Yeah.
fellow heard that conversation, so
Could be a bull yarn, but I
It
mean,
could be,
I've
yeah.
just got that vibe he's going to Queensland. Looks good in maroon, so
he's a Queenslander,
I
so
don't think he'll be on the Broncos, but I think he's going north for sure.
Yeah, well, he's definitely not going to Manly. Knock back that offer live on air. So he wants 2 years, and it was too late for them. So
You can tell he's slowly getting more of a shitty attitude on the field, and it's weird to see. I just think it's weird
when
to
you
see.
know it's time to go, it's time to go.
100%. 100%.
Well, carrying on with this, the NRL auditor has also reportedly set Daly Cherry Evans' value for 2026 at 400,000, meaning clubs that can sign him for at least that amount.
For how much?
400,000.
It's cheap.
That is
that's
cheap.
dirt
Time
cheap.
of his life. Well, he's older. but
He's
playing the
older.
Best football.
he's in the best form.
That's
But
an
he does
insult.
play good football. I'm
That's an
not a
insult.
fan of him as a person, but him as a player, he gets a bit of a shit attitude, but he is a good player. He sticks his neck out and he gets in there and gets it done.
Leads the training runs. He's the fittest
Yep.
in the crew.
He's always picked
You
for
watch him
the.
on the field, he's no dramas.
Well, that's what I said last time I was on. Like he's never had a massive injury.
No.
He's got through his career unscathed,
Yeah.
and it's showing now.
He's always in the origin, so he's got to be pretty good.
Yep.
Definitely
Personally, I
worth
don't
more
like
than
him.
400K.
Well, what is he,
yeah.
36? 36, yeah. You know, obviously
Not as old as me.
disappointing that he's going to tell Manly that he's already told Manly that he's not going to be there and finish his career. But
He showed them.
Super League, you reckon? Or do you reckon some NRL club will get
He'll
him?
go north.
I reckon he'll go Titans. I'm thinking Titans.
Dolphins?
We'll have him.
I don't
Titans
think
love
he'll
him.
go- I don't think
Well, you did have him, but he reneged on your deal 10 years ago.
Cowboys?
I think Kieran Foran's going to get him through there.
Yeah.
That's where I think he'll partner back up with Kieran Foran.
I reckon he'll go back to Hasler.
Yep.
That's Hasler at the helm with Foran and
Foran, yeah.
Cherry Evans, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent.
Early Manly days.
Yeah. Which means AJ Brimson will probably move into the centres or fullback. Or those
I like him a fullback.
Yeah. Well, you got Jaden Campbell there as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he's going well.
Yeah. So
Yep.
a few headaches there for Des if he goes up there. That's for sure.
Well, I think he'd be rubbing his hands together.
Yeah.
I'd say definitely, yeah, 2 old heads up there like that, both playing good football. Can't really go wrong with it.
Manly's loss.
Will be Manly's loss, I think.
100%.
Yes. Anyway. So Gus Gould believes Terrell May will give himself every chance for a debut for the Blues this year. While considering the way that he's been playing, I would reckon he'd be right up there.
Definitely in the squad. Probably, yeah, put him on the bench maybe. First
How,
game
how,
out.
how would that be bench day with Linu and Terrell May coming off the bench, Hudson Young, all those real aggressive
Just run
back
through- run
rowers,
through everything.
you know? Yeah. Queensland won't know what hit them this year, I feel.
It'd be nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Gaz, Kylie, what do you think of this? Sorry.
What do you keep calling me? Gary's. Mark said. He,
Go Kylie.
Daddy, chill.
I didn't know you were so handsy, Kylie.
well, say yes to Dean.
yeah.
It's not Dean.
Definitely not Dean.
I didn't
small.
think you were flirty.
I'm not.
Okay.
I just sort of, a bit of distance.
Right.
I can feel the muscle.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all.
What
That's
have you
all.
been drinking? Definitely not juice bombs.
Yeah, that is. Juice bomb, juice bomb.
You can have him. Can have her
I think
singing
I'm gonna
that.
have to
if you
go,
want.
eh? That's some
Yeah, we
we
can
gotta
fix
do.
The what I think about it, I think when it comes to Origin, they'll put up a barbed wire fence. I'll just go straight through it. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Good chat.
Fair enough. Guys, gotta.
No, I can't back that up.
No. No.
It's only a barbed wire fence.
No.
Okay, it's got it.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
Straight through. Charge.
Okay. The Knights are reportedly planning to offer Kalen Ponga a 3-year extension, tying him up to 2030. They are prepared to offer up to a whopping $2 million a season,
Crazy.
only if the salary cap increases with the new broadcast deal.
Crazy. That is
It's
just.
doubling down on a bet, isn't it? You lose the first time and you double down.
Yeah. Or just
You're in now, you're trying to build a spine, so you either got to fully commit and do it, or you got to back out, and we've already spent the money, so we're in.
He knows that we were already. Or all the other teams are sniffing around. The Roosters have been sniffing around, and you know,
Got to do it to keep it, and got to have a chance.
100%. And we've just spent all that money on Dylan Brown.
And also, just think about it. It sounds like the future. 2030.
Yeah.
It sounds like all the old people. 2030, we're planning. It's 5 years away. We're planning for 2030 to have him for
Still
around
have
the entire
Kalen
time.
Ponga. Yep.
What future?
What you got to forget, what you're forgetting, is it's only a contract. They just rip it up and walk
They
away.
already ripped it out, yeah.
An injury.
Crazy money too.
Yep.
You'd be silly to turn that kind of money down. Like you got $2,000 handed to you to just be an athlete. Like
Yep.
To sit
all
on the
you do.
sideline.
Yep.
I'll do that.
crazy.
It's not a coin.
You'd go
That's even if they do get, how much is the salary cap going to go up? It's going to have to go up a lot.
It's going to have to.
They're offering him an extra 700,000 a year.
Well, between two players, that's $3.3 million. Like,
And what was that other young fella that they you were saying earlier?
Will Sullivan, yeah.
How much was he? 900.
I don't know what.
Not sure what it was.
What they've offered, no, but yeah, they've just signed him from the Cowboys, so
Yeah, right.
yeah.
where do we get all this money from?
We've let a few good players go.
Yeah.
Couple
Don't know
of
some
laundromats
people
opening
in
up
the,
around town.
Don't know some people in the Roosters mob. Couple of brown bags happening.
True.
Passing on.
Staying on the Knights, Dylan Lucas will miss up to 6 matches with a high-grade hamstring injury. A big blow there, I reckon.
A lot of hammies this week.
Yeah, he's wet weather,
Yeah.
a little bit slippery conditions.
Yeah.
No, he's been playing great.
Bit soggy.
He's been going really well. He's really shone in the first couple of games, so it will be a big loss.
Yeah. Yeah, well, what's it, Safidi coming back this week, is he, or...?
Yeah, should be.
Should be, yeah, so that'll strengthen up the forward pack, so a little bit. So, but yeah, they will miss Dylan Lucas for sure. He's a really good edge running back rower.
Who's stepping in his place?
Don't know yet. We'll have to find out when the team list comes
Yeah,
out
true.
later. What do you reckon?
True.
Eh?
That's
Yeah,
great
can't
thinking.
give
Oh my
everything
goodness.
Keep on. You'll be able to see the team list really soon.
Yeah.
At the end of the show, mate.
Wayne Bennett admits he's unsure what a hip drop is, as the rules are confusing. Well, if Wayne Bennett doesn't know what a hip drop is, surely everybody in this world doesn't know what a hip drop is.
Well, yeah, you look at Munster's tackle,
Yeah.
where it was a apparent hip drop, but his feet didn't leave, and how do you do it? You have to tackle a player. So if you're from behind, you just let him run through. Then, yeah, it's a weird one. It's really referee discretion. So,
I mean, back in the day, it was you hit him around the hips and you fell down. It's not an intentional. You're not out there to hurt someone. You're out there to get them on the ground, stop the ball. That's your job. That's what you tackle for. So it's. I think it is a bit of a grey one because it's 1 week it is and 1 week it's not. So I totally understand what he's saying because you get confused yourself when you're watching the game. And there's every week, every game, there's 3 or 4 of them. Half of them get called, half of them don't.
Yeah, well, obviously alluding on to here, with Jai Gray obviously being charged with a grade 1 dangerous contact for his hip drop. He'll avoid suspension and only be fined $1,000 with an early guilty plea. So, I mean, he doesn't know what if he doesn't know what a hip drop is, I'm not sure what it is. Like, there's so many different variations. So,
and that's when you come back into penalties. They're not consistent with that either. $1,000, $2,000, 4 weeks off, 6 weeks off. How do you prove intent?
yep.
So what's $1,000 to a bloke that's on $650 a season? What's $1,000?
Fog pocket money.
That's it. That's what it doesn't. It's got to be. I don't understand these fines. I don't understand why there's a fine there. It's either your point system where you get X amount of points for what you've done, and as soon as you exceed X amount of points, you start having weeks off.
Yeah.
It's the only way you're going to rub stuff like that out of the game. Fines like that are nothing.
or make it a percentage of income. Like in cricket, they take out 30% of your match fee.
Yeah.
You do the same in footy, and people start taking notice.
Yeah, $100.
$1,000 is
If it starts to impact the team, then there's less likely for more grub activity, because then the whole team will come down on the person doing the grub acts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so last couple to go. The Cowboys are reportedly strong favourites for Vegas opener next season.
Who cares?
Pretty much the same. I'd like the Knights to be there. I'd like the holiday.
Well, I think St George and the Dogs have been touted as a clash as well. So
the new Knight CEO was over there in Vegas in the crowd.
Yep.
Seen photos of him there from friends. So
Yep.
Could be us.
Yes. Anyway, I'd be interested to see who goes over there next year. So I suppose everybody's got to have a turn, don't they? So
they say that, but you do that for the first 1 or 2 years, and then after that,
haven't they got 5 years over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
So random. Of all the places in the world, they're like,
20 teams over 5 years.
Yeah.
How it's supposed to. Well, that's how they said they were going to run it.
yeah.
Whether it's run that way, we'll find out. Find out probably next year, not next year, the year after, sorry.
Yeah. And lastly, Tom Starling admits he wants to re-sign with the Raiders past this season. However, his management and the Raiders are yet to open negotiations. Good pickup for somebody if he does go. They've got a couple of hookers that are in there. Owen Paddy. I think Danny Levi is there, but he'd probably be out on his way too. So, yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye, but yeah. We'll see what happens. They're doing negotiations earlier and earlier every year. You got 1 foot out the door, and you still got the rest of the season to play.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
All right. Well, that's the NRL news for this week. We'll take a short break and be back with you shortly. Welcome back, guys. Now we have Gazbag brought to you from our friends of the Next Level. Great pizzas they are.
Tasty little treat.
I'll be filling in for Gazbag this week. He's apparently off for a little bit, so I'll try and hold it together for him. Okay, fellas?
Yep.
And ladies?
I'm
Sure.
scared.
Okay. The NRL has fixed to play the ball in the game. Now, what do you think about the scrums? It's a two-part question, this one. Like, you watch the Union, scrums are beautiful. Look at ours. They are so scrappy and useless. Any thoughts on it?
Yeah, when they started feeding it into the lock, all the last few years, that's when it became scrappy. Go back to the old days where it used to actually throw it in the middle.
Go back to Union. As you said, they lock in, they do it properly, they train on it, it means something in the game. Here it's, you either get rid of it and have it play the ball, or you do it properly.
Yeah.
I can't remember what game it was the other day. I was watching where you seen the halfback actually tapping the second rower's leg out of the road because he had to get the ball past his leg. So, it's waste time having him. It's only potential for injury.
I will say, as a guy who played Union one time in his life, I think we were actually trying to flip to flip the scrum around. So you're on the opposite side where you're running, so you can flip the entire scrum around. Whereas this, NRL for years has been just feed into the second rower, and then why would you not make that part of it, or just do it, just touch and play, just play on, guys, play on.
That's it. Yeah, just go back to play the ball.
Yeah, just play the ball.
Turn over, play the ball.
When I rang Gary today about the Gazbag, he said he used to play hooker.
Yep.
And
Doesn't surprise me.
It
your
wasn't a very rich one, but he said the way they used to cheat was they throw the ball on one side so it'd skip back the other. But it was everyone had to push and cuddling each other and you head up their bottoms, and it was really good.
I bet he had a good time at doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he was sounded a bit excited. Okay, part two to this question, and you sort of touched on it a little bit, as we used to, is do you think the lock should stay in the scrum and not take the ball and play? Like, have the forwards, the second rows and the lock, and they all lock in and push, and the back stay out of the scrum. What do you think about that?
Yep.
Yep.
Have to agree. Yep.
Get it back to the way it was.
Yep. If not, eradicate the whole lot.
Yep.
Don't have a scrum at all.
No, I think we should have the scrum because it weeds out the little weenies.
I think it's got a lot to do with the speed of the game, though. That it is that way too. Like the speed of the game's so much quicker than it used to be.
Yeah.
I think they're just doing it to keep the ball moving. The way the scrums are set up.
Ball will still move when you put in the scrum and they push.
Yeah, I know, but that's where I think it's gone. Is the speed of the game is just they've just forced it out.
Yeah.
You know, breaking the locks, and everything before the ball comes out of the scrum and things like that. It's all part of the game now because of the speed of it.
But on saying that, on the play the ball, they used to walk over the ball to make it faster.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They brought that back. You got to put your foot in the ball. Bring it back to the basics.
Yep.
It can still be fast.
Otherwise,
That's my personal opinion.
substitute it for a poker game. You might as well have a poker game in the middle of the game because you're slowing it down pretty much anyway. So why not either keep it going faster to keep it faster, or show us the guys pushing each other and actually having a good go.
Yeah.
I reckon
Union, it's an attacking weapon.
literally
They purposely have a scrum so
Yep.
they can push and
Yep.
drive.
100%.
Whereas here,
It's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just a waste of time.
100%.
Yeah. It does nothing. I reckon I watch and I think, why?
Other than for the ladies and everyone who likes gentlemen to watch them bent over, like there's no other reason for it really. No other reason. So
Look, I like
get it going on.
I like gentlemen, but I don't
You
like
won't
to
find
see
anything,
that.
Kylie. Just none. Courtney, sorry.
Or it's a union.
Sorry?
I thought I was looking in the mirror then. It's all this hair in my eyes. I said, there's no gentleman here.
Are you colourblind as well, are we?
There's no gentleman here.
Continue on.
As you were.
As I was.
As you are.
Do you know how terrible this thing
Someone
tastes?
else speak, please.
How do we prevent teams from giving away first tackle 6 agains in the turn?
What?
Slowing the game down to set their defence line. When they get there and they give away a first again.
Repeat.
A
Yep.
ruck.
Yep. So my opinion on that is do away with it, make it a call. So the player that's had the infringement against him should be able to say, I want a penalty.
Exactly.
Or I want the 6 again. You know, put it to the captain on the run. You know, because it is on the run. You know, get it to the captain as quick as possible. Right? Do you just want it as a 6 again, or do you want the penalty? And give them the right. Because how many times do you see this 6 again inside their own 20, trying to get off the line? Give them a penalty when they can make 30 metres from a kick. That makes more sense to me.
Well, I was going to say, when they're on their own, defending their own line, and they get the 6 again, march them back 5 metres, give them the penalty, start again. Make it hurt the other team.
Yep.
like NFL penalties.
Make it hurt them. That was from Don.
Thanks,
Hi,
Don.
Don.
Good question, Dom.
Don.
Don.
Yeah.
Don.
Don.
Say Don.
No, it's a Don.
Say again.
Don.
Oh, Don. Okay.
Too much hair in his ears.
Not just his ears. Not just her ears.
It just hurts.
Why do players have to walk up the tunnel after being binned? Why not just get them to sit on the sidelines?
I don't understand that either.
Is it punishment or they go and have a
Get 'em
beer?
away from the game. Get them away from
Get 'em
the
away
face
from
of
it.
The
tactics,
hecklers.
Shame.
and they're totally separate then. That'd be the only reason.
But they've still got the TV inside.
Yeah, it's not the same sitting with the boys and talking about it and amping
Yeah.
up everyone's momentum. And
True.
building
Kind of like a
the-
detention
they
at
had
school.
Yeah.
the big ginger cat was in the bin on the weekend,
Yeah,
and
I heard.
I saw him talking to. He was in the trainer. Like there was a decision that went against him, and he's like, "Oh, that what was that supposed to happen?" Like, no, leave it. It's old. You know, leave it old school. Like you got to. If you go to the bin, you run off. You go into the dressing sheds.
Yeah, sit in the corner.
That's right.
Think about what you've done. And
That's
go
right.
back out
Yep.
after.
Yep.
And you're right, because they sit there and they get hyped up and go back out with an attitude. Hecklers as well. Heckling, I guess that's not good. Makes it
Well, it's
worse.
a crowd too, as we've seen.
Oh,
Just takes them
touch
away
on
from
that
the game. Get them away from the game. Like they've
Yeah.
infringed it. Yeah, put them in a little box in the corner and
especially if they have done a grub act.
Yeah.
I do agree. But sometimes you see people get binned and it's just doesn't make sense.
This one's from Ivan Ichianis. I have an itchy anus.
Sorry?
It's Giannis.
Giannis, yeah.
Giannis?
Yeah.
Anus.
I think you pronounced that not correctly.
It's a bit hard because you haven't got them soothers for me yet.
Oh, right, okay.
We'll just get down in the shop
very
centre.
We'll go down soon, yeah.
Which player has the best haircut in league at this present time?
Kylie.
None of them.
Well, not
Have a look at Chad's. I like Chad's.
Felice Cafuli anymore.
Archie's.
I said that wrong.
Look at my head. This is a great haircut for sliding out of tackles. It's great.
Looks like a
Many other things to slide out of.
looks like a pool ball with glasses.
Lube it up, slide right through.
Used to be Kick Albert. He's shaved that off now.
He has,
Doesn't look
yeah.
like a sheep anymore.
No.
I tell you what, Fletcher Sharp's got one hell of a mullet on him.
I'm not
Got a
into
good
mullets.
haircut.
I don't
Oh, yeah.
like mullets. No.
Generally, Parramatta way, they have a lot of mullets, don't they?
I'll get down there with the scissors. Tell Gary to go down there with the scissors. Nearly buggered that up.
Huh?
Go down with the scissors and cut it all off. I don't like. Nope.
This is going to age me. This is going to age me a lot. But I think in the 90s we had the mullet. I think right now, obviously I can't grow anything, but basically I feel like a mullet is just an invitation to grab someone's hair. So like, do you want to be tackled by the hair? Grab them by the hair and go for it. I know you're not supposed to, but it's there, ready to go. So I don't know. Get them short, boys. Get them short, I guess.
Remember the old Tigers players in the 80s? I don't know, you might know something, but Kerry Hemsley and Kevin Hardwick. Remember those guys?
The big
I'm
hair.
not that old. I can't remember.
Oh, right, okay.
That was big hair.
Just beyond 21.
It was all big hair back then too.
Yeah.
There used to players with it.
Yeah.
And the headbands.
Yep.
Yeah.
The old tape and
Yep.
bandage wrapped around the head.
Yep.
On the bald front there where you said...
Why are you looking at me? Stop looking at me.
You said... Well,
I'm bald.
You're
but-
bald.
Hey, I'm bald. That's true.
Well, it's just fallen from here down
Yeah.
to here.
Yeah. It's just
Well, my
Watch it.
younger brother, he plays under 16s, and on the weekend I went down and watched him and supported him, and a lot of them have got mullets and then like those fob tail things. I'd just be, but a lot of them are bald, shave their head, and they before they ran out, they're all out there rubbing all this cream and this oil on them. I'm like, what are you putting oil on yourself for? And they're like, oh, well, if they tackle us, we can just slip straight through and keep going. I went, are you kidding? Under 16, they're oiling themselves up, so
That's too young for KY jelly. I'm really sorry. Like, don't put that on yourself.
just stay away.
Just stay away from everyone and just get tackled normally. It's okay to get tackled.
Do you want to attract P Diddy? Because that's how you attract P Diddy.
Only played up to played schoolboys, and Coronation Oval in the home dressing shed was a tub, 20-litre tub of Vaseline,
Oh,
and that was knees and thighs before you ran on the field. Yeah, and I'm talking cake.
Didn't James Graham do that before a game once?
Yep.
So
Gary-
good.
Gary told me that when he was playing for Maitland schoolboys, they used to have a tub, not 20 litre, a tub, Vaseline.
Yep.
And being a hooker, he had it all over his leg. It was shocking.
Where's this going?
I don't know.
I think that's the end of the story, actually. A bunch of hookers with,
with Vaso
Vaso.
in the bushes.
Right.
Have the next question.
Stay away from that. I'm staying away from that.
Moving
Yeah,
right
right.
along.
It's getting very
Talk
rogue.
about the football position hooker. All right, back to the
Very good question. Ivan Itchy.
Anus?
Anus? Anus.
Yeah.
I have an itchy anus.
Excellent. Great question.
Very good question.
That was a great time.
Definitely got us there.
Are you ready for the next question?
Yes,
Please,
we're ready.
yes,
Yes,
please.
anytime.
As long as it doesn't come with Vaseline.
No,
This is from Sonny. Why is Critter not the Dogs' conversion kicker? Well, he was kicking on the weekend, wasn't he?
He was, but wasn't their normal kicker out injured?
Yeah, Burton's out injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's back this
So-
week. Was he? Burton's back this
No, I
week?
think Bird's got another
couple
couple of weeks.
Oh, righto.
Yeah. But yes, Critter is a very good and handy backup goal kicker. If not, should be first choice. He's very accurate.
It's nice to be spoilt for choice when you have some 70-plus kickers.
I'm pretty sure Toby Sexton kicks goals as well, so they've got plenty in the in the backup there for the Dogs if they if people go down. So yeah, no, not that go down.
Thought we were getting back to the Vaseline.
Oh,
Yeah,
Go down to
it.
be soothers.
yeah.
Next break.
careful,
Yeah,
Kylie's
right.
going to slip off a chair in a minute. All this Vaso talk.
Itchy anus.
True. He's not here.
They make tablets for that.
Giannis, thank you very much for your question.
Need some bum chocolate, Kylie.
I need one of them donuts to sit on. Then I can eat it.
Need something
What's
to
the
sit
next
on.
question?
This is from Lachlan. Hi, Lachlan. How
Hey,
are
Lachlan,
you?
that's a good name. We like that one.
Hi, team. Why do the teams not have 2 goal kickers, one from the left and one from the right? It's simple way to improve kicking performance. Now, before you start, I've been talking a long time for Gary, and he said when he was doing the goal kicking for schoolboys, he kicked them from either side, didn't worry him. The goalposts are there. Who cares which side it's on?
Don't they spend a lot of time? And if you're the goal kicker, like, aren't you supposed to be training? Isn't that your whole thing? Like, if you're the person out there, you just literally train. Like, you're good at like falling over and getting the ball and getting tackled. But isn't that your job? Like for years, your left, right, doesn't matter. I used same thing with schoolboys. There's a person who's the goal kicker. They are the one who is there on the line all the time. They're practicing from every position all the way down. Why would you not just do that? Having 2 means you have to, like, what if one's out one night and they have a hammy? Then you can't shoot from the left-hand side.
Some teams don't even have a second choice kicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Lathan Cleary is one of the most accurate goal kickers in the NRL percentage rate. I don't think you want to give up kicking from the left or the right, or his preferred side.
This is the best description of rugby league: falling over and getting tackled.
Thank you.
The best description.
Falling over, getting tackled, and occasionally holding balls.
With Vaseline.
Not
That's how
plural.
it comes in with it. Can't.
With Lachlan's question, from the left to the right, what about if it's in the middle? Do you have a third person to kick them straight in front?
See, that's how ridiculous that kind of thought process
Well,
is to me.
yeah.
I think if the goal kicker cannot kick a left, like from the left or the right,
Yeah.
You may as well kick it all.
yeah, pretty much. Like, it's not that much difference. You just got to try and angle yourself to kick. It should be the same kick every time.
Isn't it? Sorry.
Depends on which way you kick. It depends on how you kick. Like you look at Jonathan Thurston kicking, he'd kick it from the right hand side.
Yeah.
He'd kick it 10, 15 metres outside the right hand upright and slot it over the centre. He'd do exactly the same kick from the left hand side, but he'd push it further out again and still hook around. Like,
Isn't it beautiful football when it's just like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way that's going to, oh man, straight through the
Straight,
centre.
yep.
Yep.
Over the post.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yep.
So,
Well, that's it for this week for Gazbag.
awesome.
Thanks,
No
Kylie.
worries. No worries.
See you next week, Gaz.
All right, we'll take a short break and we'll back with you shortly. Welcome back, guys, and now we have What Caught My Eye, brought to you from our friends at Maitland Bathroom and Renovations. We'll start down the line and we'll go with you, Mark.
Ow! My eye! Ow! Ow! Ow!
All right, so Bulldogs game, which some will like, some won't, but Josh Curran. So Bulldogs were trying to bring the ball out off their defensive line. Josh Curran was still getting back to the line. He was level with the ref, and then he's called one of the Parramatta players offside, who's then dropped out of the tackle, allowed the Bulldogs a clear passage of play. The refs penalised him against the spirit of the game, which is sort of a grey area. It was a different one.
Was that called for the impersonating of a referee?
Yeah, called him offside and let him go straight through.
That was pretty funny, though.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it's something I've done in basketball and other games.
Yeah.
So you do those calls, and if
Yeah.
you get away with it, it works.
Yeah.
well, he definitely got away with it.
They call him spirit of the game.
Yeah, I think that's a bit rough.
Yeah.
I think that's rough. You know, they had on the, I don't know whether any of you guys saw it, the Matty John show, where we called that mousetrap back in the day. You know, and the Newcastle player picked the ball up and scored when they were coming out of their line. No different. That's a bit of, if you can get away with it, get away with it.
You got to try it, right?
Well, you know, but I don't think it was a penalty. And I'm a Para supporter, so.
Gary thought it was. He liked it.
Well,
He likes a lot of things, actually.
crazy lady.
What caught my eye was Big Nelson strips the ball from, I think it was Henry. And there's no Storm player there to fall on the ball. And then Henry jumps up, dives on the ball, and retrieves it back for his team a couple of metres off the try line. I thought that was good. Like, Big Nelson does the work, and everyone sits there and goes, oh, look, there's a ball on the ground. Fools. My other one, Stephen Crichton gets his ankle in the wrong place, tangled up with Sean Lane's legs. With Parra getting a penalty against them, broke their momentum. Over 2 minutes later, Crichton's kicking a goal with his sore ankle. What a load of rubbish. Gary was not happy. I heard he has to buy a new TV. It was rip, he said.
Is that the one with the blank put VCR too? Something back from 1986? Or?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with VCR.
Oh. Well, leave me at the end. Marchie.
The young fella mimicking Pappy kicking the goal.
Yes, I did see that.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think he's done it with Nick Meaney as well. I don't know if it's the same ball kid. But
Yeah, I just thought it was good. Good to see. Like you watch. You don't get to see a lot of that when you're watching it through the TV, but when you're actually at the game, you do see the kids doing stuff like that, and I think it's great. You know, it's good to see that they're really getting behind. Enjoying themselves while they're out there doing what they're meant to be doing. So I thought it was pretty good. The other thing was, and I didn't get the player's name, the Parramatta player that went over to the young fella and grabbed his phone, asked him to set it up on video.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that was
he
great.
walked over to the sideline and started videoing the players as they were walking off the field, and then handed the phone back to the young fella. So I thought that was, and like I said, I didn't get the fella's name, but I thought that was pretty good as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Would have made his day. You'll never
Yeah,
forget that.
100%. You know, and it's his phone's. He's got it on his phone, and he was up close and personal with it.
Yeah.
So I thought that
lovely
was pretty
touch.
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Courts. What do you got, mate?
I had a few things actually. I had a bit of a big weekend. I missed a little bit this weekend, I'll be honest.
Oh, hang on. Just before we go into that, we forgot to mention at the start of the show, happy 30th birthday for the other day too, mate.
Thanks,
Happy
guys.
birthday.
Don't say it too loud.
Birthday to you.
Continue that song, we'll get copyright flags.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
I'm not okay. I feel,
Slozzled.
yeah, I'm still feeling the Saturday night. Anyway, moving on. Few things this weekend. What I have caught, what's caught my eye, the Storm game. This is really random. Did anyone see all the birds on the field? Seagulls. The Storm game.
I think they do that a lot down there because even
I've never seen it.
I remember watching. I've watched games of cricket and
Yeah.
Melbourne cricket or AFL at Melbourne Cricket Ground. There is a shit ton. Sorry to swear, but shit ton of birds all over the.
Yeah.
Flock
I
of
was just-
seagulls.
I was shocked because I've never seen that before. Like, I mustn't pay that much attention then if that's a common thing. But I just thinking if someone kicked the ball and it hit one of them birds, that would have been a bit average. Also, another thing that's caught my eye, I went to get fuel today in our old little head and greeter town, and I walked in to pay for the fuel, and we had 3 Knights players behind the counter serving people.
Yeah,
we
right.
had Fletcher Sharp, Tom Cant.
Thomas King.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, and Brody Jones. So I said g'day and got a couple of things signed and
yeah,
made my day. I was just like, oh, well,
Were you still sozzled at that time?
sorry?
Were you still sozzled from your party?
I actually don't know what you're saying.
Drunk. Sozzled.
Oh, no, it wasn't. No.
Were
no.
they real is what she's asking. Were
So
they
when
real?
you get the seniors card like him,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I'm going to need a hearing aid, I think. I've hit 30. I can't hear.
No, it's a shame.
Who are you talking about him?
Frequency deaf.
You.
Him's not here.
Oh, right.
And I will say that if you saw them serving,
Yeah.
obviously we need to raise the cap because they need to work apparently.
Yeah,
They're behind the
100%.
counter work and we need to raise the cap for the entire NRL. Okay, that just proves it. The guys had to work behind the counter.
Well, apparently the Caltex has been taken over by a new company. I can't say too much because it's all
Hush,
coming out. Yeah. They are now a major sponsor of the night, so there's signage everywhere. So I feel like, yeah, so that's good. There's some local people getting around the local teams, which is really, really good. Small business. And yeah, it was such a shock to walk in. There was someone handing out bags, and the little fella got one, and luckily enough, he had his little Knights jersey on anyway.
That's awesome.
And yeah, he got a bag full of goodies, and then there was just people everywhere, and then the 3 boys, and we know that I'm a big Fletcher Sharp fan, so I was stoked to see him. I was absolutely stoked. Made my day.
Awesome.
Very
Yeah.
good. Chad.
So I really like Easter, and I know that doesn't make sense to anyone until just yet, but I really quite like Easter. And, you know, I think kids like Easter too. But, you know, tall bunnies, you know what I'm saying?
This is
but
about league,
one
mate.
thing, this is
the league.
apparently one Cronulla Shark kid had a run-in with a big old bunny.
Oh, yes.
And so Easter did not come early for that child. He got pushed to the ground. I believe, as far as I'm aware, it's just rumour, but I believe he got squished to the ground.
Well, that's no ordinary rabbit. That's the most foul, cruel, and bad-tempered rodent you ever set eyes on.
Head was smashed, some teeth gone. So I think I saw an
now he's a
article
South
about.
fan.
Yeah, it was a South Cronulla fan, and I think. I think the mascot owes him an apology and some dental work. So
I heard he gave the apology to him. It was
Did
on
he?
the Wireless today, yes.
I hope that came with some money.
He actually
and
fronted
a couple
the board.
of season tickets as well.
They made him front the board.
Yeah, right.
Done that
He's
for like
80 years
3
old.
or something.
The fella that the mascot. He's
Really?
80 years old. And he's been involved with the club for something like 50 odd years.
Wow.
20
First incident.
He only sort of pushed him back.
Yeah.
The young fella went to hug him or something like that,
Yeah.
and he shoved him back because he had a Cronulla shirt on.
We're almost around Easter time, so the kid obviously
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, I'll hug this bunny."
I haven't
And
seen
then
this.
push
How
the
old
ground.
was the kid?
9.
Yeah.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah.
It's not.
I
Yeah,
know.
I wish I was joking, but I'm not joking. It's
And
funny.
what happened after that? Did the parents?
Security warned him.
Yeah.
Warned the kid for getting too close.
So and then South's come out and they did the apology thing, and I can't think of the fella's name, little Italian fella. He fronted the board yesterday,
I had to apologise.
and then had to do an apology and all that sort of thing. So
Oh my god! If that was my kid, I mean, my kids wouldn't be down there where they're not supposed to be. But at the same time, someone done that to my kid.
I will say it does create it creates
there's a line of them.
content for them, I guess. But I hope the
my
kid's good. I think the
God.
kid's fine. I
hope
feel
he's
like the kid's fine.
alright.
I was joking about the dental work.
Yeah, it wasn't as
Just his
dramatic.
face.
It was just a light palm. It
Oh,
wasn't.
when he
He didn't
smashed
fall
his
over.
face
It
in, I'm
No,
thinking,
no.
holy
I made it more
dooly.
dramatic. I just think the Easter Bunny did not come too early. He just whacked him in the face. But no, it was
I heard
cool
the
about it.
Easter Bunny was taking up UFC or whatever it was, that fighting. He's practicing on the little ones first.
It's also moonlighting as the Rabbitohs mascot, apparently. So yeah, that's what caught my eye this week.
All right. Well, obviously finished for me.
Do we have to?
The Panthers and Storm game. Nathan Cleary got knocked out when the crowd decided to boo him on the way out. I thought that was very disrespectful.
Yeah.
For anyone, but he's one of the best players going around.
No, I just, it was poor form by the crowd.
It was.
He went in to try and to get the ball. He avoided the tackle, so to speak, and unfortunately he made contact with, was it Jerome Hughes, and they both come out second best. And then when he goes off, they thought he was, and just decided to boo him. I just thought it was just, poor form in my opinion.
Poor form by the Melbourne.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that this weekend. I'll touch on the other part of it shortly in the other segment. But yeah, I
Do you think you
don't get it.
another talk, do you?
You just shut up.
It's going off on a tangent.
God. I will. I'll tangent. Okay, we need a tangent on here. We've got no Smita for tangents.
We miss you, mate.
I don't. I'm having fun with the boys.
My second caught my eye was Corey Parker. I've read an article throughout the week. Looking back, I should have just taken Jonathan Thurston's head off with a high tackle. I stiff-armed. I gave away would have give away the penalty, and Broncos to win the premiership. Well, that's been 10 years now since that competition and that grand final. Obviously, still very salty.
Shit comment, mate.
Cuts deep.
Yeah, yeah. Whether it was tongue in cheek or not, really, I mean, that's
Wrong thing to say.
10 years ago. Move
another
on, kid.
disgraceful comment, I reckon.
Yeah.
And my third one was I don't know if you actually watched the Manly and Canberra game on the weekend, but do you know that banner that Manly always have that everybody hates Manly too? Well, they changed it up for this week, and they had everybody hates cancer too. And for that little kid that passed away, it was a beautiful touch.
Yep.
And I thought that was, I'm not a huge fan of Manly, but what they did there was really nice. So anyway,
Rest in peace, Bowie.
yeah. So anyway, so that's what caught my eye and what caught everybody's eye this week. So I think we'll pretty much roll into the player of the round. Start with you, mate. Mark.
Well, I liked Payne Haas.
Yep.
He had something like 20 runs, 200 and something metres, and then he cut through for a nice try where I don't think anyone in the league would have liked to be in front of him. Just bulldoze his way through and step the fullback, which is what you want to see.
Yep.
So he's probably my player of the round.
Yep.
I didn't get to see the Panthers game, so I can't talk to that one, but Gary wanted me to say Lomax's game. Over 303 metres, 89 post metres, 9 tackle breaks, 1 line break, but he kicked no goals. I reckon if the Parramatta guys, if they took half of what he had, they would have beat, who they play? The Bulldogs. Yeah, they're bullies, them dogs. Don't like them.
Lomax is a good player. He just isn't getting backed up enough.
Exactly.
I think he's in the wrong team.
I think he's in the right team at the moment. I just think once Moses comes back into the side, that gel with Dylan Brown, and I think there's a few other injuries. I think there's a few coming back this week. Is that right, Margie?
Yeah, they've got a couple coming back. Yeah. Well, they had a couple come back this week. So you could see the impact that those. I think there was 4 players come back.
Well, Josh Adokar returned.
Adokar, Lane. So they. They sort of had a little bit more about them this week.
Too much drop ball.
That's been their issue.
Well, yeah.
But it all hinges on Moses, unfortunately. Like I said a fortnight ago when I was here like Dylan Brown, he's not performing.
No.
He's not performing. Like how many passes? I think three went to ground. His kicks went nowhere. There was nothing on the end of kicks. He's not doing what he's meant to do.
He's not 1.3 million material in my.
No, well, I can't remember the commentator that came out and said that he's sticking in his shell, like he's not coming out the way he should be, and he seems to think that it's more fear of failure than anything, moving on for his future. I don't know whether that's true, but because his future was. Last year was a different future, and he didn't perform last year. So, and like I said that 2 weeks ago, and I'm still an advocate for it. I still believe he's not a $1.3 million player. He's not performing at Parramatta, and I would honestly, if he hasn't changed that in the next couple of weeks, I think he should be sitting over on the bench or playing Reggie's, because he's not going to be at Parra next year, and we need to get someone in there and get him blooded now. We've got a full season.
Is it Ethan Sanders?
Ethan Sanders, yeah. He's playing reserve grade.
Why? At the moment,
I don't know.
They've just brought. So they've had Ronald Voltman as halfback.
Yep.
They've had the Hawkins,
he's playing again this weekend.
We'll give him another chance.
Yep. But problem is, if he's passing the ball to Brown,
it's going nowhere.
Yeah. So I mean, am I not seeing? Am I seeing something that no one else is seeing? I'm seeing the coach not seeing it. I personally, if he had his future settled, he still had a couple of seasons left at Parramatta. He was on 1.1 million this season to go up over the next couple of seasons. So it's not about the money. He just wanted to get out. He's been there and he just wanted out. So in my opinion, if he wants out, let him go. Let him go. Let him sit on the bench. Let him play Reggie's. It doesn't, Put someone in there to
going really good.
Blossom, give him another 24 rounds.
Off Kylie.
Stop looking, Kylie. Look, Gordon. I got this Kylie thing.
Yeah, anyhow, that's my thoughts on that.
You're dead right.
Fair enough. Who are we up to after all that?
Archie.
That's all right. I was looking at myself, Payne Haas.
Yeah.
His form at the moment is pretty good, and he's going to be like, I'm going to say Dally M, close to, if he stays fit and stays out of trouble.
That was a huge rampaging run he did to score a try,
Yeah.
didn't
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's going to be a lot more of that to come. A lot more of that to
He's
come.
second now. He's caught up and almost to Ponga for Dally M. So
Yep.
Well,
Shall be close.
Ponga wouldn't have polled any votes after.
he got nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
So,
don't think any knight got points
yeah.
or deserved to.
Yeah. Courts, what do you got, mate?
I, again, didn't catch much of the games on the weekend.
Why not?
I was very intoxicated, Gary. I was entertaining. Kylie, sorry, you just look a bit like Gary today. But I reckon Brian, is it Tottenham?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
he just spearheading straight through people to score tackles. To score tries. Sorry, I think he did a really good job. He just seemed to be in a bit of everything during the Panthers game. So he's probably the player that caught my eye out of all. Again, I didn't really get to watch a lot this weekend, but I thought that was pretty impressive. His game, pretty impressive.
Fair enough. Chad?
The 4 from 5 conversions for Titans was Jaden Campbell.
Yep.
Did really, really well. Really good. I think, there was the 2 penalties that actually happened as well on the game this week, and obviously those were right in front, so that was fine. But the fact that we beat them 26-6, the Knights was pretty good, and the fact that they couldn't catch up even if they tried because of those those penalties was pretty good. Pretty good. So that's my go.
That was a shocking game.
Listen, it was great for me.
I don't even want to talk about it.
We won't.
My whole party was going on. We had the big screen up above the tables where my party was, and everyone's like, "Oh, there you go for your birthday." And I just looked up and I just gonna go home. Just ruin the vibe.
Absolutely.
Another vodka.
Fair
I
enough.
drink that crap.
Well, add Terrell May. I think since he's been with the Tigers so far this season, he's really made every post a winner. He made 147 run meters, 45 tackles. I don't know why the Roosters have let him go, but it's the Tigers' gain, and he's been instrumental in the last couple of wins for them, and I see a lot of good things happening with the Tigers this year. Him and Royce Hunt coming off the back fence, and I just thought he was my player of the round this week, so
Good pick.
yeah.
New lease of life in a new club and
Yeah.
allowed to flourish and do what he should have done.
I just don't understand why the Roosters let him go. Like 2 years left on his contract. I don't know whether he's done something in house. We don't know that, but he's gone to another club. The Tigers have picked him up pretty money, and look what he's doing so far. And then obviously he's going to get his brother from Taylor. So with Justin Olam sort of he's medically retired now. So watch out for the Tigers this season or over the next season. I think they're a dark. No, I wouldn't say a dark horse, but they're going to certainly
Better than 17.
Bit of an up and
do.
comer.
Yeah, I think they'll be a smoky for around the 8 if they keep playing the way they're playing.
I hope so. It'd be nice to see an underdog come up. It's been the
Yeah.
same sort of result the past 4 years, so it'd be nice to see him get up.
Top
finally.
4 hasn't changed much, has it?
No, it hasn't.
No. Anyway, guys, that's the play of the round, and that was brought to you by Kogan Haulage Contractors. We will take a break, and we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back, guys, and here we got Jokes of the Week, brought to you by the Sign Shop. Mark, you want to take over with this now, mate?
Try and do Crazy Lady proud.
I just can't do it. My throat's too sore, Mark. So
We need the lozenges.
you can do it for me.
This will be off-putting now. All right, Corey was at the store earlier with his service dog. A lady named Courtney, who was in front of him at the checkout, had about $200 worth of toilet paper in a shopping cart. With an attitude, Courtney asked Corey what type of dog he had. He told her it was his service dog. Courtney got snarky and said, "I knew that. What type of service?" Corey replied, "He is a BLD." By now he was licking Courtney's face and hands and being super friendly. Courtney then asked, "What is a BLD?" Corey told her the BLD stood for butt-licking dog. Corey said, "Yeah, he's been trained to lick my butt clean because I can't seem to be able to find any toilet paper because of hoarders." And the cashier completely lost it.
Oh, I
Sorry.
do like that one. How's your hands, Court?
Sorry, guys.
I think my butt's clean now.
I just eat a lot of things I shouldn't, and then just go through it.
A second one. A man named Corey, because you're getting a good run today.
I'm getting picked on.
I think you got light last week. So.
Yeah.
A man named Corey goes into a bakery and asks for 2 bread rolls. The owner, named Dean, picks them up with his tongs and puts them in a paper bag. Corey then asks for 2 cakes, and Dean again picks them up with his tongs and puts them in the bag. Corey says, "It's nice to see you don't handle the food." Dean replies, "Nothing in my shop is handled by human hand." Corey then noticed a piece of string hanging out of Dean's pants and asks him, "What's the piece of string for?" Dean replies, "When I need to pee, I just pull on the string and it pops out." "That's okay," says Corey, "but how do you put it back in?" He said, "Easy, I just use the tongs."
Oh my god.
That's
That's a cracker, Kylie. That is a cracker.
That's
Thank
nasty.
you. That's so good.
Makes you think twice when you go to a bakery now.
Yeah. No.
Would that be a dong tong, would it?
Dong tong.
Dong tong.
And lucky last. So Dean goes for a job in a general store. His boss, Gary, says, "Let me show you how it's done." Customer walks in and asks for a packet of grass seeds. Gary says, "Sir, when the grass grows, you're going to need shears. And then after that, you're going to need a lawnmower." Customer says, "I never thought of that." And then over time, he leaves spending $250. "That's how it's done," Gary says to Dean. "The next customer is yours." So a man walks in and says, "I would like a packet of Tampax, please." Dean replies, "Would you like a lawnmower as well, sir?" Customer asks, "Why the hell would I need a lawnmower?" Dean replies, "Well, your weekend stuff, you may as well cut the grass."
I can relate to that one.
That's a good one.
That's funny.
Is that any more, or
We can go again if you want.
we'll go one more? Considering on a roll with some good ones here.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Drum roll, please.
All right. Pick another one.
Just insert angry Dean tapping.
One day, Dean decides to put his wife Kylie into a nursing home where he is hoping she'll be well cared for. She was well looked after. The nurses bathed her, fed her a tasty breakfast, lunch and dinner daily, and set her up in a comfy chair at a window overlooking a lovely flower garden. She seems fine, but after a while she slowly starts to lean over sideways in the chair. 2 attentive nurses named Chris and Corey immediately rush to catch her and stop her and straighten her up. Again, she seems fine, but after a while she starts to tilt to the other side. Nurses again rush back in and put her upright. This goes on all morning. Later, Dean arrives to see how Kylie is adjusting to a new home. "So, Kylie, how is it in here? Are they treating you all right?" he says. "It's pretty nice," she replies, "except they won't let you fart."
Oh my God.
Sponsorship money going right to the wrong place.
Yeah. Oh, seriously, Kylie, you've left us some absolute humdingers. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Some good ones. Brought to you by the Sign Shop.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, we'll take a short break again, and we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back, everybody. We got something different for you this evening. We're going to have something. It's called "What's Giving Me the Smits." Courtney, you want to take over for us, please?
On behalf of Dean, I would love to.
Sure.
I noticed something on the games this weekend that really, can't swear,
Peeved you.
really peed me off, yeah. It's a bit of a controversial topic. Josh Adokar, as soon as he came out on the field, love him or hate him, he's a player, he's coming back on the field, he played really good. Honestly, if you watch the game, he did play pretty good.
Scored a try.
At the end of the day, yeah, he got caught doing what he was doing, and everyone takes the mick out of him for it. But what's the difference with Latrell Mitchell, Kalen Ponga, all those other players that have been caught doing the same sort of thing? What's the difference? Why is he getting booed so much? The whole game, every time he caught the ball, every time the camera was on him, he was getting booed, and it was so deafening. I just think that was poor form. I thought that was pretty disgusting of the crowd.
Partially because it was a Bulldogs crowd and
Yeah.
affected from the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
That would be the first point.
Yeah.
It's just probably just one of those things that it'd be like when Dylan Brown goes to Newcastle next year. Parramatta will do the same thing. It's just,
Yeah.
you know.
Para fans are booing him now.
Well, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I did-
Well, they're starting already, aren't they? Starting early.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, as an example,
Yeah,
like any
exactly.
player that goes to another team, it's just a thing to do.
Yeah.
So maybe it's that behind that line.
Maybe it could be that, but I don't know.
I feel that's more than likely what it would have been.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like you say, it's going to happen when players. It happens to any player that leaves the club and goes to another club. As soon as their first game back at their old ground, they cop it. They're
Yeah.
going to cop it. I think it's more that than anything else. There are so many players in the competition that have,
Doing the wrong
unfortunately done the wrong thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel that was what it was. I
Yeah.
honestly don't think that's what it was. It's got to have been the home ground, the ex-home ground.
You're right,
It's probably got it.
Potentially. But on that sort of note as well, a lot of people have got a lot to say about him and a lot of negative things. End of the day, like I said, all these other players have done it and they don't really seem to cop as much flack. But, they're young men. They go out, they party. The amount of them that probably do it, but they don't get caught. They don't get filmed. It's a part of life. Yeah, there should be a role model. They should be setting an example. But they're also adults. They're athletes. They've got money. That's what they're going to do. They're going to have a loose, good time. And it just annoys me that it gets in the public eye and everyone's got something to say. And these people a lot of them that have something to say are probably doing the same thing. So,
Sorry, I just wondered. Do you think it might have had something to do with the fact when he scored a try that he was pumped up to the Bulldogs crowd as well?
He did give it back, didn't he?
he did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he's got a case of white line fever, hasn't he?
I feel like on that as well, like as soon as he walked out from the sheds, he copped it. Like it was so loud and good on him. I would have done it too. Like, So
Bigger personality you are,
Yeah.
the more the crowds are going to react.
yeah,
You know,
100%.
if you're a nothing in the game relative, then they're not going to arc up like they have. And Bulldog supporters are quite passionate,
They are.
Yeah.
quite vocal. So
Yeah.
it's probably expected. But as you said, you go back to many years ago when they started all these drug cases, and
Yep.
there was a few other assaults and the like. But you get young kids, you get them money,
Yep.
and you get them a lot of downtime, and in no direction. Of
Yep.
course they're going to go rogue.
Yeah, 100%. The young ones, not everyone, but most people have done that sort of thing. It's part of life.
Any to add to that, Chad?
I think collective memory is pretty short. I think anything that's ever very controversial either sticks really hard to someone or it fades away. So you might see a lot of it continue, especially with the home ground. You might keep seeing that happen. However, everyone's short-term memory. There's so much going on. There's some other controversy will come up pretty soon.
Yeah.
To mask this one. So yeah, I think it's short-lived and
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It'll be interesting to see what happens at the next Parramatta game this week, whether or not he gets booed again. But it's just disappointing to see. He's just come back on the field. Yeah, he's probably done some grub stuff, but at the end of the day, he's just a player coming on, making up a number in the team, doing his best. So, and he played good. If he played crap, whatever, he deserved a boo. But he was into it. He was,
100% in the
Yeah.
game. Yep.
He was, and he had something to prove, and he did, and I think he played good.
He always puts his heart and soul into every game
He
that
does.
he plays.
He's a great
I
athlete.
think he's a very good winger.
Yeah,
There was a bit of talk about him too, leading up to the game,
Yeah.
coming back, that he did have a point to prove. So there was that. There's probably that pressure on him as well to perform, and because it took him a little while to get going when he was at the Dogs too. I think when he scored his first try at the Dogs, it changed him there, but it took him a while to get that first try.
Yeah.
It was 5 or 6 weeks before he actually did score. And then when he did score it, he did.
It opened the floodgates, didn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. So, well, hopefully that works for us too. Like,
Yeah.
just had to find his footing, maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I know this is, we talk about Parramatta here all the time, but, we usually, give them a bit of a bagging. But, what I saw last week out of Parramatta, I know they didn't do much in attack, but when Moses does come back into that squad, You know what I mean? With Adokar there, you've got Lomax and Penasini in the centres. You've got Samarini, who's the young bloke who's going really well.
Yeah, he's going really good, yeah.
You know, and he's leaving Tuggo out. I think injured, is that right?
Yeah, yep.
That's right. And then you've got Iongi at the, it's a pretty decent thing.
Yep.
So, you know, they defended well last week. They gave Canterbury a game. You know, I think even Toby Saxon said afterwards the interview, he said that was the hardest game of second half that I've ever had to play. So, you know, Parramatta are in the fight. They just didn't score the points last week. So once Moses gets back into that side, the tide will turn. Whether or not they miss the 8 this year, okay, maybe. But, you know, good things will be up for Parra at the present time, mate. So
they did come out and say that they're expecting another 2 weeks for Moses as well, so that pushes it out to 8 weeks.
Isn't it round 8 he's coming back? Yeah.
So
It's a big blow.
that could define their season in the first 8 weeks. You can't win a premiership in the first 5 rounds, but you can certainly lose one. You know, and I think that's where we are at the moment. We're going to
Critical.
We have to win. We have to win the next 2 or 3 games, otherwise our season's pretty much over, realistically. I don't see us crawling back. The competition's a lot tighter than it has been. Like you touched on earlier with the Tigers, you know, they're a bottom 4 side last year. I personally don't see them. I don't want to say it, but I personally don't think they'd be too far off the 8.
no, like they just get better and better each week.
They are. They're gelling as a team. And honestly, on the back of not Luai. Unfortunately, I don't think he's having the start of the season that everyone was predicting him to have. But that's been picked up by Galvin.
Well, that's right. I think like Luai, as much as a good as player as he is, Galvin's feeding off him.
Yep.
And behind the scenes, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes in training, but I reckon Luai's there mentoring him here at the moment.
Yep.
And Galvin's absolutely shining. You know what I mean? And watch later on how good Luai will fit into that role when he fits into that Tigers system.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like he's doing a lot behind the scenes, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And the Tigers are flourishing. So at this present time. So
definitely.
You know?
He might be taking that, like you say, just taking that step back and just letting Galvin do his thing, because I mean it's working. So it happened with Brooks last year when he went to Manly. How good did he play?
Well, you won a barbecue after it, didn't he? Tigers gave him a Weber, is that correct?
Yeah, correct. But I just think until 5 rounds, if we haven't got a couple on the board, we're not going to be there.
Well, I read somewhere or listened to somewhere. I don't know if anyone listened to the sports breakfast of the morning, early hours of the morning. Most of you might be already in bed. You might be in Gaz. Kylie, sorry. Anyway, they said today that any team that has 0-3 or 0-4 at the start of the season, their chances of making the top 4 are quite slim. So, it's a must-win game for Parramatta this weekend.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
What against the Dogs?
I'm pretty sure. Got this weekend?
Pretty sure.
No, we played the Dogs last weekend.
Parramatta have...
Oh, the Manly.
Manly, that's right, yeah.
Oh, that'll be a tough game. Anyway,
Good luck next year.
I was supposed to be going the game with one of my mates, and I actually said to him the other week, no, I don't think I'll be going. I'm not wasting my money.
Yeah.
Marshy, the thing about Parramatta that you would like is that they won the second half in 2 out of the 3 games.
Now they've just got to put it together and get both halves.
That's it.
So,
and not drop the ball.
Yeah. That's their biggest issue, ball handling. Yeah. Like I said earlier, 3 passes from Dylan Brown went to ground, kicks went to nobody. They were nothing kicks. Realistically, he's not pulling the team together, which is his job at the moment.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, we're all going on a bit of a tangent here.
Yeah, we went walking out.
That's it. That's all right. Anyway, that was what's giving me the Swits this week, brought to you by Shadow to Fairhall. We'll take a break and we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back, everybody, and now we have Talking Smit. We have caller number 1. Who we got, mate? Hello?
Yeah, mate, how you going?
How you going? Who's this, mate? Who we got?
Josh.
How you going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
Sorry.
We got Courtney, we got Marchie, we got Gary, and we've got Mark on the panel tonight. What's your question for us, mate?
Look, as much as we all hate Manly,
Yep.
the whole Turbo and DCE situation. What do you reckon? If them two boys are fit, do you reckon they're going to win the comp or what?
My opinion, they'll go very close this year. I don't know if they're going to beat the Storm or the Panthers or maybe, in my opinion, the Broncos. But, if Turbo's fit, definitely up there, in my opinion. And DCE, if it's going to be his last year with Manly, you'll probably want to go out a winner. So even more motivation to win for Manly. What about you guys? Thoughts?
Yeah, top 8 for sure.
Yeah.
And probably give her a good run into the second week of the finals if they stay fit.
I reckon about 5th or 6th for my liking.
Yeah. That's right.
Marchie?
Then on to add on to that one, where do you think DC will go after his career at Manly?
Titans.
I heard
Or
Parramatta.
North. Just North.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? He's really keeping his cards close to his chest at the moment. Super League could be one option. Retirement's another option. If he stays in the NRL, I'd have to say he'll pack up, and this is only my opinion, he'll pack up and go back to Queensland, somewhere in one of the Queensland. Won't be the Broncos, obviously. Well, though, who knows? With Reynolds off contract at the Broncos, there might be a possible move for him back to Sydney. They can fit him in the Broncos. Dolphins probably won't be the Cowboys, so yeah, probably one of those two teams, Dolphins or Broncos for me.
I'm reckoning Titans.
I'm confident Titans. Kieran Four and Des Hasler for me. That's their draw card.
Oh, yes.
So they'll have a massive say in, I think. He will get back to where he was at the start of his career, realistically. Playing with the blokes that he started with. I think that's the draw card for the Titans, and I think that's an easy one for me on my thoughts.
Good move to get him from the bottom too. Bottom of the ladder.
Yep.
Sweet.
All good. All right, mate. Well, what a good question for us for this. Thank you for joining us tonight, mate. And hopefully, if you call a week, you might go into the draw for a Toddy voucher or some cash, mate, from us, mate. What do you reckon?
Oh, happy days, man. I appreciate the time.
No worries, mate. Well, thank you for coming on, and we'll talk to you next time, mate.
Thanks, guys.
All right. All right. See you, mate.
Have a
Cheers,
good one.
mate.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, mate.
Caller number 2. Who we got?
Hey guys, it's Crazy Lady in the Smit. How are you?
Oh, hello,
Hey,
mate.
guys.
How you
How are
going?
Oh, Kylie's still here on the bench. You must have a different Kylie there.
Oh, dear.
No,
Please help us.
we're halfway to New Zealand, I think, but yeah, let's just say boats and me don't really go together.
We've noticed.
Should take a page out of Corey's book. He's great with boats
Yeah,
Boat
take a
ramps.
page out of me, mate. I love boats.
and boat ramps.
And boat boys.
But anyway, yeah, no, apart from that, it's good. I haven't.
I have a question.
Yeah, what is it, Kylie?
When are Penrith going to start winning?
Oh,
This weekend.
When Para starts winning, apparently.
how long's a piece of string?
This weekend, mate. I reckon they'll do the bunnies this weekend.
Thursday night? I hope so.
I've got another question. When the hell are Parramatta going to win?
Go with
It probably won't be this week with Manly.
No, definitely won't be against Manly.
Maybe they might struggle to beat the bye.
Oh shit! Sorry, I forgot Marty's on the show.
Well, actually, no. They play. Actually, Dino, they play the Dragons after Manly, so they might win that one. They might. That's round 5.
No,
so,
Dragons will beat them.
oh,
Anyway, guys, we just thought we'd ring up and say g'day from.
yep.
The middle of the ocean.
Middle of the ditch.
We can hear you. You still there, mate? We might have lost you.
Fallen overboard.
Calling us from the middle of the.
It looks like man overboard now. We might just have to go to another caller. All right.
Bye, Dino.
Bye, mate.
Bye.
If you're out there, mate, take
Sail on.
safe travels.
Don't drink too much.
Caller number 3. Who we got, mate?
My name's Corey Wilson.
Oh, hello, mate. How you going?
Yeah, not too bad.
That's good. We got Marchie, we got Courtney, we've got Gary, and we've got Mark on the panel tonight, mate. What's your question for us, pal?
My question is, what are your guys' thoughts on the reliability of Nathan Cleary as a halfback and his ability to step up for the Panthers when needed most?
Ooh, it's a pretty damn good question, actually.
It's a tough question.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, he clinches the big games, so he has the ability to raise everyone up around him, which is good. So you need someone that can drive the rest of the team, even if he's not performing at 100%. The rest of the team's doing it for him.
He's got great morale.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
He raises them, and the risk of having him out is the team will drop away because they feel helpless without him.
Yeah.
He is a New South Wales halfback too. Keep that in mind. So he shows a bit of leadership, which is basically what their team needs at the moment. He's out this weekend, but I think he's been pretty good for him. I mean, 4 premierships, and he's been the mainstay for that reason. I think he does a pretty good job for him. To be totally honest, in my opinion, that's what I think about it. He's there for him. He does drive him around a bit.
I've got a bit of a question. If him and Moses are both fit for the Origin, the Nathan at 7 and Moses at 6, what do you think about that for an Origin pair?
You've got to put Luai in.
Off the bench.
No, Luai starts for me.
Where are you going to put Moses?
Well, if Cleary's fit, he's put Cleary.
Cleary and Luai are
That's not the question. I
dynamic
said,
duo.
where are you going to put Moses?
14. Well, don't put him in at all.
Oh, but geez.
Anyway, getting back to Cleary, Corey, honestly, he's the Iceman for me. He's Mr. Reliability everywhere on the park. I mean, obviously he got taken off last weekend, and there was something that everybody else didn't see last week. What we saw is that Penrith actually can play without Cleary on the field, and Jack Cole, I thought, played his best game in a Penrith jumper last weekend. So, sky's the limit for Penrith. We've always thought this year myself, if with Lou and I being there, that if Cleary gets injured, how they'd go. Well, it showed me last week they've still got a lot of fight, and I think they'll be still a top 4 side for me this year for sure, mate. So, and if Cleary's fit, well, who knows what 5-peat's going to look like. So, anyway.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, to be honest.
Sweet.
What team do you go for, Corey?
Penrith.
Penrith, they are.
Oh, of course you're going to agree with it, aren't you? All right, mate. Well, thank you for that. That was a really good question. We seem to have answered that one quite well. And, you'll go into the draw for the Sayers Inc. tattoo voucher and the $200 cash from the Nighttime podcast. Thanks for your call, mate. Hope to hear from you again soon, eh?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Anytime, mate. Anytime.
Thanks, Corey.
All right, see you, Cal. All right, mate. Bye. All right, bye. Caller number 4. Who we got?
You got Adam.
Is that Adam from Storm Boy Adam?
I'm not the boat ramp boy. I'm the Storm Boy.
Storm Boy, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a very familiar voice. How are you, mate?
Don't put me in your category, Corey.
Oh, fair enough. Awesome, mate.
I'm good. How are you all?
Yeah, very well, very well. Yeah, running the ship tonight while the big man and the crazy lady are overseas enjoying a lovely holiday with their family.
Oh, nice. Oh, let you have the reins with it.
Yeah.
Scary, eh?
Yeah. No, it's all good.
How's old Gaz going?
We're all coming up the rear there, Ads. I'm filling in for Kylie.
Oh,
all right, mate. We've got Mark on the line. We've got Marchie and we've got Courtney as well. So, what's your question for us, pal?
When do you guys think, as a general question, that the women's salary cap should be increased to at least half of what the men's is?
Right now.
Yeah. Like months ago, years ago.
And not even half. Take it full up.
Yeah.
Give them what they want, mate. They're professionals, in my opinion. The competition is really strong now. They should have every NRL team as a NRLW team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play hard.
Yeah, and you can see the quality of how well they play every week. When, I mean, obviously you probably watched that game in Vegas when they played the Poms. I mean, you know, like it was just a training run for those guys, and you know, like that's just the experience that they have had playing in the competition that they've had for 4 or 5 years now. You know, they should have had New Zealand over there, in my opinion, but would have made things harder. But you see what the women do every week. Obviously, what you've done with your footy over the years with the girls and that. But yeah, mate, 100% for me, mate. They should be getting paid like the salary cap right up now.
Yeah, it's just bad. Like, it's crazy to think that like the main stories are like you got your Dylan Brown contract and the one that's come to light this week, Daly Cherry Evans, but none of the girls, like, you never see them in the spotlight, and yet, you know, like they put in just as much work. You know, they don't play a full season like the men, but still their money's so far behind the women's game, like the men's game. It's not funny yet, but they're half the face of the NRL now.
That's exactly. Right.
I find the NRL quite downplay their women teams. Like as we discussed on a previous episode, how they don't seem to play the same team. Like if it's a Knights home team, the Knights girls should be playing as well, instead of sending them over to a different like you got a random 2 teams playing on a Knights game. So
100%.
I think they quite downplay the women's teams, and I think it's wrong. I think
it should be a full competition.
Yeah, 100%.
It should be a full competition every time in the competition and every round.
Yeah.
And when they do that, that's when the money should be there. Definitely, 100%. I don't think the money's there just yet because they haven't got the competition yet. The competition is there, but it's not a full comp. So until they get it to a full comp, I think that's when the money should definitely be there. 100%. That they should have their salary cap no different, and play with their home teams. You know, play your reserve, your Reggies, and play your first grade and your women's teams.
Because I know with us, like with my club, we've got like an A grade women's side and we've got a B grade women's side, but we look at it as one squad and everyone just plays for that, you know, for that top squad each week sort of thing. And you'd think the same thing like with the reserve grade, because it opened up, you'd have so many more women play the game, I think. Like, there already is a big call for it now, but I just think like the income of them, like I know a few of them like in the NRLW system, and they've all got second 2 and 3 jobs outside of playing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be full-time professionals, ads. You know what I mean? So,
a lot of gender equality these days, and that's not very a big face being NRL. You think that that's something that they'd be pushing and they'd be trying to advocate for, but it's quite downplayed. I think it's
Yeah.
Well, that's a very good question, mate. Thank you for bringing that to light too, mate, because I think the girls really do deserve just as much as the men do.
Yeah.
So anyway, mate, well, thanks for your call, pal. Really appreciate talking to you again, eh? And you'll go into the draw for the Sayers tattoo voucher and the $200 cash from the Nighttime podcast, my friend.
Not a drama. I might pop my head in one night and see us all.
Sounds good to me.
That'd be great,
No worries.
Right up, pal. Look after yourself.
You too.
All right, see you, mate.
See you,
all right, bye.
Bye.
Well, that was Talking Smit today, brought to you by Juice Bomb. So, what do you reckon, guys? Who's your call of the week, eh?
I think it's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
I think it's a tough one. There was a couple of good ones there.
They were all good, actually.
Yeah.
Being a bit half slosh was probably my favourite.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he doesn't win a tattoo
I know.
Yeah.
I think the last caller. I think it's a pretty. I think Adam, I thought
that was a good question.
That was a good question. Yeah,
they were all good questions,
They
but
were.
I think that was more. Yeah, it was
That one hits home.
Yep.
something that doesn't get spoken about.
What about the first guy, number 1? Do you reckon he reckons right? Was it Joel? Was it?
Josh? Yeah, Josh went good. Corey did good. They all did good. It's hard to pick.
Yeah. No, I'll
leave it in your hands.
All right. Well, I might give it to Josh tonight. I think he sounded pretty good.
Yep.
So. Sweet. All right. Well, Josh, mate, you're the worthy winner this week. You'll go into the draw for the Sayers Inc. tattoo voucher at the end of the year and $200 cash from the Nighttime podcast. We will take a break and we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back, everybody, and now it's time for the week that was with our own Triple M's Elliot Lovejoy. How are you, pal?
I'm doing well, and I'm just glad that finally this podcast saw some sense and put you in charge, Corey. Well done, mate.
We're just saying how smooth it's been going.
Where have you been the past couple of
Yeah,
years?
yeah. Well, mate, I've got big shoes to fill, mate, and I'm hoping that I'll deliver the goods when the big man comes back. But I can tell you right now, he can have it back when he gets back. Trust me. Anyway,
very good.
We'll carry on, mate. We'll start the week with the Thursday night game, mate. The Storm 30 over the Panthers 24. How'd you see this one going, pal?
Yeah, I think, and I know it's been talked about in coverage a lot, but it's the most accurate way to sum it up. I think the losing team's happier than the winning team in that one. I think Penrith to turn that game the way they did, despite losing Cleary and competing and showing a way that you can tear apart the Melbourne Storm's defence was so impressive. Jack Cole had his best game in first grade. I thought even Blaze Talangi, when he came off the bench, had some nice touches for him. And I think Isaiah, whatever he's on, might get paid a bit more after the end of that because he was outstanding.
100%, mate. And it just shows for me. I was touched this earlier that that Penrith, without these players, especially when Cleary went down early, that they all stepped up and they can play. So they're all a bit worried about it. So I still think they're a top 4 side for me.
Yeah, I think a lot of questions were probably answered through a loss from them, which is it's pretty crazy the way it played out. But I thought that was so brave considering, and I think Melbourne, which is very un-Melbourne-like, probably got a little bit lazy. Probably thought that they were just going to cruise home with that one, and ended up being probably the game of the round.
That's right, yeah. And Melbourne had a lot of injuries come out of this as well, didn't they? Like Jerome Hughes and I think Pappenhausen and Nick Meaney. So they got a bit of a horror injury toll to come out of it as well. So brutal game.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think Wishart, he'll get a couple of weeks in there. I think it's I know they still want to keep him around Melbourne, but I think it's another good job audition for him. I think he's probably too good a player to be playing off the bench. I think he's a starting half at a lot of clubs, and with PNG not that far away, wouldn't be surprised if they look at him long term.
Well, we might have a chance this week, mate, playing the Dragons with all those players out.
I didn't want to be the one to say it, but it could be a long afternoon for St George.
Well, I'll be definitely watching it somewhere around the world. So anyway, moving on, mate. We'll start with Friday night, the first game. The Warriors 14 over the Roosters 6, mate. How did you see this?
Yeah, we were setting up at Suncorp to do the next game, so I only caught bits and bobs of this on my phone. But I watched the replay. I thought probably the key stuff out of it was Lauatea, the centre, that he's going to be an absolute beast, and then they just need to keep giving him early ball. And probably the other side of it is the Warriors probably showed a bit of toughness early when the Roosters were dominating. I was pretty impressed with their pack, the way they hang on, and after that first week in Vegas, you're a bit worried about the Warriors, but they've turned around the last 2 weeks.
They have, and Fisher Harrison makes a huge impact on their forward pack, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and I think Wade Egan, he's had a wretched run with head knocks, but when he's on the field, he's so classy. I think he's a really good number 9.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, is he a New South Welshman?
Yeah, he is. Yep. Yeah, he's obviously came through the Penrith system, so no, he's a good talent.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
Warriors always turn it on for a home game, but
yes, they do. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Carry on, mate. The game that you were actually at and calling, mate, the Broncos over the Cowboys 26-16.
Yep. I know we called this game and I should have nice things to say about it. I thought it was an absolute bludger. I know. Besides Payne Haas, who's just a beast, and Pat's Adam Reynolds kicking game, it was a hard game to watch. The Cowboys' attack is just wretched at the moment. The Broncos were off. I thought some of the big boys from both teams had a crack. Tamalolo back made a bit of a difference. Cohen Hess off the bench is good for the Cowboys. Shibasaki had a crack for Brisbane, Purdue for the Cowboys, but neither team was at their best. It was a scrappy affair, and I know sort of Walsh is getting back, pillar to post, and probably rightly so in attack, but I thought defensively he was really good. For all the bad stuff that happened in attack, defensively, the way he organised their line, I thought he was actually outstanding with that. So that's probably something that will go unnoticed through the week. But, that side of his game was good. And if you're a Broncos fan, you just hope that attack can click.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's only early days, and Katoni Staggs wouldn't be far off coming back, wouldn't he?
No, he was good to go, but they wanted to give him another week. He's sort of sitting there ready and raring. But Shibasaki's form's been better than you'd think.
I'm surprised with that too, because I'm not saying because he was out the Knights for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's new years at the Cowboys, played against South. Sort of, he's been a bit of a role player, but no, he's sort of highly touted as he was a kid. So under maybe the right organisation, the right coach, you might see the best of him. His brother's still up at the Cowboys too. He's an edge back rower. He's played a couple of games in first grade now, so not a bad family.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's good. Anyway, all right, mate. Well, we'll start off with Saturday, and the first game was the Sharks 27 over the Rabbitohs 12.
Yeah, they flexed their muscles, didn't they, Cronulla? They threw a few new sort of attacking shapes we hadn't seen yet, and Braden Trindle, I think him and Nico are both playing pretty well. Braden Trindle stole the show with a couple of superb kicks, and I don't know if there's a better yardage winger in the game at the moment than Ronaldo Mulatalo. I think if you're a fan of rugby league, you'd love to have him. The work he does, particularly in the hard parts of the field, he's been incredible.
Yeah, they lost a few blokes. I think is it Hemingway and Sasai to whatever was his name? Talakai. Yeah, they've got some decent injuries out of that too. So so they might be missing a few big boppers there, mate. So Cronulla might go down the ladder, I feel.
They got relatively decent depth in their pack, so they should still have enough blokes to come through and fill spots. But I think all teams now, Newcastle seeing that, and I'm sure we'll get to it. We've seen a bit of an injury toll, and depth will be tested.
So do you want to go past that one, mate? Do you?
No, we can delve into it. No dramas.
No. So the only time the Rabbitohs flexed their muscles was on the sideline with the bunny.
I tell you what, the best formal apology that you'll ever read to the Halo was via their Instagram page. I thought the way that was written towards a young fella was actually really well done, and I would assume that we've heard the last of that.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, mate, moving on, and I thought this was a pretty good game to watch, to be honest. The Dolphins 18 and the Tigers 30, mate. Good comeback from the Tigers in the second half.
Yeah, and I won't speak for everyone there, but for a lot of people I've spoken to, probably myself too, you can't help but have a soft spot for the Tigers at the moment. I love what Jerome Luai's brought to that club. His stat line won't read it yet, but in terms of leadership and being competitive, he's added so much. They've finally got wingers that are working their bums off in yardage and their packs going forward as well. And when's the last time we saw a Tigers team come back and win a game? Honestly, I genuinely couldn't tell you.
Very long time, mate. I'm liking their spine, mate. Bullard, Luai, Galvin, and he's in the great. And Galvin's obviously feeding off Luai's leadership and everything else that's going on behind the scenes. And Api Coruscant, mate, he's a gun. And obviously that player off the bench that takes a bit of
Silver,
De Silva, mate. I like him as well. I think the Tigers, if not miss the 8 this year, they'll be definitely hanging around it, that's for sure, mate. So, good on the Tigers, mate. They've been down the bottom for a very, very long time. So, anyway, moving on, mate. Everyone's favourite game of the round, eh? The Titans 26, the Knights 6.
You shut your mouth.
I just looked at the Knights. I was watching most of this game, and they had 10 offloads to the Gold Coast 0 at one point. I think it was just their last pass and their kicking options just let them down a fraction. Do you agree with that, mate? Or
I called this game with Benny Hannon on Saturday night, and obviously I tried to do it as unbiased as possible. But what he was saying, and it rings true, is one, you do tip your cap to the Gold Coast defence because they were just ruthless on their own line. But the Knights, as soon as a bit of pressure was put on their line, and you could see there was a tactic there to basically rush Ponga as soon as he was getting the ball, given no time to move or think. It seemed to work, but it was frustrating game to watch. I think they really missed both edges. I think Thomas Cant had a good crack, and his stat line will read that too. But in terms of maybe a little bit of skill from both Pierce, Paul, and Lucas, I thought they missed that.
Yeah, that's right.
And they got beat up through the middle as well, and that led to Marju had a bit of a clanger for him. They just they looked at times like they were trying too hard to make it happen on the first or second play, and
Yeah, that's
You
right.
tip your cap though again to the Titans. I thought they were really good.
Oh, you do, mate. Yeah, and they're another side that have been down the bottom for a while too. But and their injury toll's been huge. But anyway,
Honestly, that game was the worst 30th birthday present I have ever received.
Yeah, that's not a good birthday. That one.
Shocking. Everyone's
Well, you got one try at the end. So, yeah, that's about it.
Everyone's taking the mick out of me at the pub, and I was just like, I'm not even looking at it.
what did you think of the debut of McEwen, mate? He seems like a bit of a prospect.
Yeah, I think he's got a bit to him. I think he's raw, and I think we saw that with I think it was a miss on Jaden Campbell when he scored. But whether his long-term future is an edge back row or in the middle, I'd be tempted to play him as a middle now with the size of him. But him and again Thomas Cant, I'd probably undersold. Like he had a red-hot crack. I thought Tom, that's definitely, he's only played a couple of games in first grade. It was certainly his strongest. So. They're going to need him over the next few weeks. It's not like we're getting any healthier at this stage, so we're going to have to see more of him.
I was just going to say, I don't know much about him, but they signed a guy from the Cowboys. Was it Will Sullivan? Is that correct?
Yeah, Sullivan. Yeah, he plays as a middle or an edge. I don't know what the Knights' plans are with him just yet. He's not an overly massive body to play in the middle, but he's quite agile, moves well. He's pretty highly regarded at North Queensland. I was actually surprised he didn't get a gig considering their lack of middles this year, but he's the kind of kid that is good enough that he could play first grade by the end of the year.
Yeah, good. Oh, well, that's good. Well, the Knights need some extra depth too, don't they? So,
Yep.
Anyway, mate, next game on the Sunday, we've got the Eels 8 and the Bulldogs 16. A pretty tough encounter, this one, I thought.
Yeah, I think if you're a Para fan, you walk away at least proud of the effort there. I mean, Zach Lomax, what was it, 30-plus carries of the footy in pretty hot conditions too. He was enormous. I think they're a much better team when, forgive me, I think his name's Riley Smith, the hooker off the bench.
Yeah.
When he's on the field, I think they're a much better team. So I don't know, maybe he's not an 80-minute player yet, but with the deepest respect to Lussick and to Brennan Hands, I'd be getting rid of them and playing him for as many minutes as you possibly can. The other side of it is the Dogs just keep flying away. Their attack was clunky. They definitely don't look the same team without Burton in it, but they're fit, and that game was fast, considering where Paris' position was on the ladder. Canterbury just held on. There was hardly any stoppages at the second half, it felt. They were knackered.
No, we touch base on this on here all the time, but the form of Kurt Mann, mate, do you think he'd be pretty close to being an Origin number 14 this year, or at least being thought about?
Yeah, I think he'd probably be in the squad. You look at that Queensland team, for him to be 14, you'd have to dump a Ben Hunt or a Grant. You just can't do it. And if they put him, the only way I could see him fitting in is if they pick one of Ponga and Walsh and don't pick both. And I think Billy will probably pick both.
Yeah.
You can't have three small blokes on the bench. It just won't work. But if say Ponga played and Walsh stays in club footy and you've got Hunt or Grant on the bench, then I could maybe see a spot for Kurt there.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. All right, mate. Well, the last game of the round, and the Seagulls, or the bin chickens as we like to call them here, 40 over the Raiders 12. Another dominant performance by Manly in the second period of that first half. It was pretty tight, and then they got I think Canberra scored first after they had all the possession, and then they got pulled back, and then it just went the other way.
Yeah, I don't think I can remember a first half where stat lines were so one-sided. I think after 35 minutes, the Raiders had 6 sets of footy, which is just insane. Yeah, Manly were dominant at home. I think they had a lot to play for. They had a young fella, I think he was only 12, that passed away during the week. That was a massive fan of the club, so I know they were up and about for that. Yeah, that's right. So that's a really sad story. And obviously, you don't need much to get up and about to play first grade footy, but that would, make you grow an extra arm and a leg, no doubt.
That's right.
I think the Raiders probably tried a bit hard. Corey Horsburgh was probably evidence of that, just horse and passes when he didn't have to, instead of sort of sticking to their structure. But Manly at home, I think it'll be tough to beat all year.
Yeah, I think so too, mate. The form of Hamali Alakawatu as well. And he's been a wrecking ball. They'll miss a little bit out of Pasaka. Obviously done his Achilles, and is that season ending, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they got Sipley to come back, so he's a nice big body. But no, I agree with you. They'll miss him. Nathan Brown, I believe, is not far away, so they'll get a couple of boys back soon.
Yeah, right. Righto, mate. Well, that's the week that was with you, pal. What are you calling this week, mate?
Yeah. We're doing the Broncos Dolphins Friday night, and then I'll head back up to Townsville on Saturday to the Cowboys Raiders game.
Yeah, right.
So it should be a couple of good games of footy.
Yeah, well, the Knights have got the bye this week, mate, so they'll be licking their wounds after last week. So
yeah, they're essentially going to be 3-1, which I like. So it's guaranteed 2 points. We like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, we can't lose this. I guess.
No.
Well, they might try the way they played last week. We'll see.
We might stop it up. You know?
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, we'll leave you to it. Well, thanks for coming on, mate. Appreciate you every week, and we'll hear from you hopefully next week, pal.
And I know you sent it to me during the break. I'll sign that petition to get Dean, cancelled forever and you the full-time host. That's no dramas. I'll get that sort of thing. No worries.
Yeah, sure. No worries, mate. Appreciate that.
Thanks,
I think I might be excluded from the show after that. Righto, mate. All right, you take care, mate.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, cheers. See you, mate.
Cheers.
All right,
See you
mate.
later.
Bye. All right, guys, it's time for Team List Tuesday, brought to you by our friends at Extreme Go-Karts. Get out there. It's a really good time out there.
It's a good day out.
It is, yeah. We've been out there a few times. Anyway, guys, we'll start the week on Thursday, and we're going to go with the Bunnies up against the Penrith Panthers. How do you see this one going, guys?
I think the Panthers will jump up and get it done.
Get it done? Yeah.
Yeah, even without Cleary, I think they're still going to be too hard to beat.
Yeah.
They're 12th, 11th place, 12th, which you never thought you'd see, but it's Panthers, but no, they'll be too good.
Yep. Archie?
Yeah, I think they'll bounce back from last week's loss. To me, they played a pretty good game against the table-topping Storm. So they stuck it to them, and I think they'll give it to the Bunnies this week.
Cool.
It's a hard one, but I'm actually going to go the Bunnies on this one. We got Dylan Edwards out, Cleary, a couple of ones down at the moment, and the form hasn't really been there. So I think Bennett will be whipping the Bunnies a bit, and after the shenanigans with the
Mascot?
I think maybe the Bunnies might pull some form together this week. So we'll see what happens. I hope the Panthers win, but I'm probably going to tip the Bunnies.
I'm going to go the Penrith. I don't see... I don't. When was the last time we've seen Penrith lose 3 in a row?
Nah, doesn't happen.
No. So, I'm going to see them to bounce back this weekend without Cleary, in my opinion. I thought last week's game proved enough for me that they can win without him. So I think they can do the job over the Bunnies.
Yeah.
Anyway, Friday night, we're going to go the Roosters versus the Titans.
Mark.
Roosters at home. They're sitting 14th. Titans, if they click their attack a little bit better, I mean, they played well against the Knights, but if they just go that next step, I think they've got it covered.
Yep.
Roosters for me.
Yep. I'm going to go the Titans.
Yeah, I think the Titans. I'm thinking the Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Roosters on this one. Be the odd one out, but
Not the odd one out. It's 3 against 2.
Oh, do you go the Roosters too? Oh, you did too? Oh, well, I just don't listen to anything you say because you're important. Bring Kylie back.
Anyway, moving on. Friday night at 8 p.m. at Suncorp Stadium, we have the Dolphins up against the Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos at home.
Yep. And Stags in, did he say this?
He was close last week, so I haven't...
Isn't that both their stadium, isn't it?
We'll have to find out.
They played Redcliffe a bit, the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They played Suncorp too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me,
share it.
the Broncos.
I'm going to go the Dolphins, I think. I think they're going to go for their first win of the year. Just an upset.
You going to say that for Parramatta's part too?
Oh, I haven't got to them yet, so I'll let you know.
Martin? I think the Broncos quite easily.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Broncos.
All right, everyone's pretty much there. All right, Saturday afternoon, my beloved St George Illawarra Dragons up against first place Melbourne Storm.
Look, I'll go Storm. Bellamy will give them a kick up the arse in the way they played against Penrith.
Right.
So I think they'll turn up to play.
I think they'll win by 20.
Maybe you'll give them a kick up the arse for
Say what you
playing
think.
against the Tigers.
I do. Margie?
No, definitely Storm for me.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
has to be Storm.
Storm. Well, silly question. Storm. Sorry.
Well, I mean,
Who are you going for?
well, my heart will always say St George. I mean, I can see Melbourne winning this one, but
you had to put money on
it'd be nice if we can get our first win of the year. Yeah. So anyway, David Clemmer's actually making his St George debut this week, so off the bench. So yeah, they go well, Clem. Anyway, moving on, we've got Cowboys up against the Raiders at Queensland Country Bank Stadium at 5:30 on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, we'll go the Raiders on this one. They started off the season really well. They got a little bit of a hiding last week, but they'll bounce back.
Raiders.
Yeah, I'll have to go Raiders too. Yeah.
I think Raiders in a tight one. I think the Cowboys have got to start showing a bit. They're not showing anything. So yeah, for me it's the Raiders, but I think it will be a reasonably tight game.
Yep.
I definitely think the Raiders as well. On that note, what is with their away jersey? I don't like it. It looks like I was watching a Warriors game.
Bring back the Vegas.
Bring back the Vegas strip. Yeah, that's probably one of the best strips I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
The strip or the shirt?
The shirt.
It was like you got blue shorts, but then you got a white shirt with coloured strips. It was very Warriors. I'm just putting that out there. Don't like it, kid.
Anyway, this game here is going to be a pretty tricky one, I feel. At Shark Stadium on Saturday night, the high-flying Sharks up against the high-flying Bulldogs, who are sitting second at the moment. What do you reckon, guys?
Oh, look, I love the Bulldogs. Unfortunately, I'll probably back the Sharks on this one. Bulldogs have a few key players out. Sharks are just hitting a bit more form. They clicked last week.
Gaz?
Well, the Eels stuck at the Bulldogs, so I think they were going to get annihilated. I think the Sharks will run all over them.
Fair enough.
Or swim all over them.
I'm going to go the Doggies. I think they can continue some form. I think they'll. I know they weren't at their best last week, but the form of Kurt Mann and that and all those in Crichton and Bronson Sherry, who's making his return to Shark Park this week after what happened a few years ago. Yeah, I think they'll be on another victory. So it'll be Sharks in the bin for me. Margie?
Shark Park, mate. I've got to take the Sharks here on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
I think they had a bit of a good run last week, and I think it'll continue this week.
Cool.
I'm going to back the Doggies on this one. I know it's Shark Park, great atmosphere, but I'm thinking the Doggies have got a good lineup.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm thinking. I don't know. They're pretty equal, but I'm going to back the Dogs on this one.
Yeah.
Dare to be different, Doggy style.
Well, everyone look at me when they say it's good.
It's usually you saying it.
Well, the crazy lady's gone to bed now, so
I had to come.
Gaz has taken over. Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Yeah. Anyway, rounding up the round on Sunday, 4 o'clock, we've got the Bin Chickens up against the Eels.
As a Newcastle supporter, we never really backed Manly. However, it's sort of hard to go past them, unfortunately. The Eagles aren't playing overly well. And Sea Eagles killed it last week.
Yeah, I think the Eagles will win, but I've got to go with me heart like you.
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm not going to pick Parramatta like you thought I was going to.
Didn't think you were.
No, I mean, look, if
they play like they did last week, mate.
Yeah, I mean, there were some good signs there for them last week, but unfortunately, I think on Sunday they're up against a pretty high-flying team in the Eagles, and sorry, they'll be 0-4 after this weekend.
It's 4 points park.
Yeah.
Yeah, heart says Earls, but brain says the Sea Eagles, and I can't see on the form of both of these sides that Parramatta's. I don't think they've got much hope against them, to be honest with you. I think Manly will just run over them, to be totally honest.
I hope they don't.
I hope they don't. But, I don't see it being much
If
different.
they lose, I'd like to see them put in like they did last week.
Yeah, if there's an effort there, I'll be happy with that. But, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I've told you he needs to stand out, and he's just not doing it. Yeah. And until that happens, we're not going to be
on the downside.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty rough first 6 to 8 rounds.
Yeah. Caught.
I'm going to go Manly on this one as well. Boys are playing really good at the moment. Playing with their hearts. Tommy Turbo on form and his brothers. So, I mean, the rest of the team too, but they seem to be quite a tight-knit group, so, yeah.
Cool. All right, finishing off the round, West Tigers up against the Warriors at Campbelltown.
It's been a long time since we could say the Tigers are favourite against a top 8 side. But I love the Warriors. So we'll go for an upset, technically. Go the Warriors.
Yep, Warriors.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Tigers on this one. Yeah. I think they're in pretty good form, so I like the way they played and finished off the game last week. I think they'll continue that, and be interested to see how the Warriors do go outside of their own country. So, yeah, look, for me at this present time, I'm going to take the Tigers. Margie?
Yeah, well, the Warriors for me aren't real travellers. They don't seem to play as well out of their country, out of their home ground. So I'm going to be sticking with the Tigers, as much as it pains me to say, because I've got a couple of reasons where I should be going against the Tigers, but the boys will be probably listening to the podcast tomorrow and be sitting there with a big smile on their face, I dare say. But yeah, I'll be taking the Tigers on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Tigers as well. As Marchie said, they don't play very good away from home, usually. If you asked me this question last year, I'd probably back the Warriors, but the Tigers are on song at the moment. They are doing really good, so they're definitely a team I think is going to climb the ladder this year, hopefully.
Oh, well, that's everyone's tips for the week. Yeah, hopefully some good footy played. Anyway, we'll take a break and we'll come back to you and we'll wrap it all up. Welcome back, everybody. Well, it's time to wrap up the show tonight. It's been a pretty good show tonight, I feel. Trying to fill in the big shoes for the big man. But anyway, before we go, Courtney, we got some competitions to give away this year, mate.
Got some great giveaways this year, so just keep your eye on the Facebook page and enter and like and share and tag and get the word out there. First of all, we've got 2 NRL fridges to give away. So we've got wrapped in a team of your choice. So that's popping up on the page, so keep your eye on that one. Winner for the fridge to go into the draw, to win the fridges, sorry. We've got Matt Ward. So congratulations, Matt. You're in the draw to win the fridges.
Yeah, congratulations, Matt. That was a beautiful photo you had of your daughter.
Great photo.
Yeah, Curry Bulldogs under 5s, yeah, and I think she scored a try in her first game, so I think from memory there, so good on you, mate. Yeah, well done, Matt. You can go into the draw at the end of the year for the lovely fridges. Not just one this year, we are giving away 2.
2 fridges, yeah. Secondly, we have got a Hip Pocket giveaway. So Hip Pocket $500 gift card or gift voucher. And a work lunch from Next Level Takeaway. Or if you're not in the area, then we will give you money to get a lunch somewhere else. So the winner of that from last week, Brittany Sams. So congratulations, Brittany. You're in the running for that as well. So good luck. Well, LJ Hooker, I believe.
Yeah, LJ
This is the workplace.
Yep.
Singleton.
Hey, guys.
Yep.
Yeah. So congratulations, and hopefully you win that one.
Yeah, so keep sending your entries in, keep sending your tag your friends and everybody like that, and we've got some great giveaways, epic giveaways to give away this year. So stay tuned. So,
and third and foremost, the biggest prize of the year we've got the 49cc motorised esky to give away as well. So that one is a code word. So we've got to listen out for a code word every episode, and then you just listen out for that, email us the code word, and then you go into the draw weekly for that as well. So good luck. It looks like a good little rig. And I think that was all for that one as well.
pretty much it, yeah.
And just to mention as well, don't forget we've got the Smita Foundation Sunnies. We've got them on the table. They come in a safety glass as well. So you got safety glasses, which are these black ones here. Otherwise, we've got these ones, and they're just as good as a very popular brand at the moment, but for a fraction of the price. So.
And only $55, guys. So yeah,
Get yourself
get out
the
there,
bag.
get out there. Yeah, it's pretty good buy. I wear them. Everybody here on our podcast wears them.
We
So
wear 'em, yep.
yeah, so
Get into them.
Gary's looking pretty.
yeah,
Pretty suave.
Yeah.
You like that word?
That wasn't
Pretty.
the word I was going to
look like
use.
you're ready to go into a nightclub, guys.
Might even do that in the way home.
You might. Oh, okay.
But yeah, jump on and grab yourselves a pair and support a really good foundation and cause.
Anyway, all right. Well, that's it, guys. That's had a great show. I'd like to thank all our sponsors today. Can't do the show without all you lovely people who sponsor us. So thank you very much. Going to be another good week of footy, and yeah, let's
Can't wait till next week.
Go wait till next week. But anyway, I just want to thank Mark. Thanks for coming on again, mate. Appreciate your thoughts and everybody else. Gaz, Kylie, or whatever yours was today.
You got Kylie.
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Kylie.
I like them both, ladies.
Marchie, thank you very much again for coming on again.
No dramas.
Appreciate your hard
enjoy
work
it.
you do with us and everything else. Yeah, behind the scenes, everything. Yeah, you're a good fellow with the show.
Bit of fun.
Yeah,
Bit of fun.
good on
I
you,
enjoy doing it. So.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. And Courtney, as always, thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, and
Thanks to you, Corey. You've done a really good job taking over the reins.
Don't keep going at him. He won't get out the door.
yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if my head's going to fit out the door on the way out. Anyway, guys.
And Chris and
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Thanks,
Thanks, Chad.
James.
Yep, James. Yep.
and
Dean and
Labby.
Kylie.
Labby tonight, yep. And a special cheerio to Dean and Kylie. I hope you guys have a very lovely cruise and a great holiday. And we'll see you back in a couple of weeks. All right.
Stay safe.
Cheers.
Keep an eye out for Porsche and Cruz too. Don't let them get too far away.
Yeah. So I hear they've been making a little bit of mischief for you already. So
Just want to make a mention to Sayers Inc. as well
Yep.
for
Yep.
this segment as well.
Yep. Thank you for that. Thanks for letting me know about that one.
I forgot to say
No,
that.
thank you. All good. Anyway, guys, that's it. Another great show. Until next week.
It's all about league.
Good night.
Good job. I want to show you my semen.
What caught my race? Take 3.
Next time.
Are you? Hilarious.